got like, I think 30 in the room or something like that. Pretty awesome. Guys, this is episode 40 of the Level Up Show. Getting close, 10 more until the big 50, which we might treat as our anniversary. It depends on where it falls. It could be close.
Yeah.
It's going to be very close.
I want to move that sign so that everyone can see how nice Bogey's watching Mark eat his mac and cheese.
He's not even watching him. He's just like,
He's staring
scrolling.
intently
He's
at the
Bogey
cup.
loves mac and
Mac and
cheese.
He's a statue.
Like he's like in hunter mood.
I mean, I don't have a problem with that though. He's really good with that.
No,
he
I'm
doesn't
not saying
beg.
it's a problem.
Mark,
It's
would
just
you
like
let
funny.
him lick the container when you're done?
I'll give him a little bit. See, he's like inching forward.
He's just slowly getting closer and closer. You guys can't really see that though. So guys,
Can I move it for a second?
yeah, you can remove it for a second. I'll pause.
Can I do it?
Let me get rid of the object here. Mark is over there.
Oh.
There we go. There's Bogey. Just sitting there intently watching Mark eat his mac and cheese.
I'll put it back up.
All right,
I'll put it
you're
back up
doing
for
really good. I'm gonna give you maybe a little bit.
Well, no, when you're finished, just he can lick like.
There you go. And now Bogey's gone again. I couldn't even find him. I was like, where's Bogey at? Okay, there he is. All right, guys, welcome. We are the Level Up Show. We are a gaming dedicated talk show on every Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. I am Andrew. This is my co-host Mike, and we also have Mark and Kristen in the chat room with you guys. I actually had to pause for a second to make sure I didn't say Mike there.
Right?
I was like, I'm Andrew. I'm Andrew. I'm not Mike.
Finally.
Yeah, I'm still confused. I don't know what's going on.
You actually got,
Like,
this is the first week he's gotten it right in the past 2 episodes.
I was going to get it wrong. I literally came close to saying Mike again. I had to stop myself for a second. I don't know what's going on with me. I have like a brain tumor or something.
Oh, don't make me joke about that.
I don't
Well,
know.
today he looked into a laser and he's
You're
like,
just
my brain is
dyslexic.
fried.
We got one of those like cool new laser lights where like during Christmas you see them a lot where
Yeah.
it spreads out into like a million different lights.
Right.
We put it on the tree in the backyard, but when I'm putting it down, I like stared right into it.
Why would you do that?
I didn't mean
Terrible.
to. It was tough. I had to move it after it was already on, and I was like, oh, I shouldn't have done that.
And then I said, so if you become a vegetable, what do you want me to do? And he's
Cook them.
and
Make
I-
sure you don't overdo it because they'll get a little chewy.
And I said, I'll pull the plug, and he's like, well, give me a little bit of time to see if I pull through.
Yeah, just give me a couple days. You know,
A couple days, that's
A
it.
couple days. See if
I
if
would say
pull through.
give. I see. Like I feel like that's. I would say a month.
This would be the worst on the spot ever.
This would
I'm
be the
there with
best-
the death on the
No,
spot.
this would be the best on the spot.
Not
Oh, man.
really.
No, it
All
would,
right,
it would be as
voice
bad
in
as
the chat.
death.
How long would you want to be in a coma before they pull the plug?
Wow. All right. The Level Up Show,
Wow.
the go-to spot for death and
dead.
Right.
pulling the plug.
As soon as you're real brain
Wait,
dead.
do I have it on the spot tonight?
Yes, you do have an on the spot tonight. If
Oh,
you
we're
can think
actually we're
about it.
bringing that back.
Yeah, because
Finally.
we have an opening on the spot tonight. So if Kristen, you can think of one,
I
we can
think
do it on the spot
something.
later on.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
All right, guys. As I said, we're a gaming dedicated talk show on every Sunday, and if you would like to follow us, we're already at like 50 in the room. That's amazing. Thank you so much for coming in. Please go on twitch.tv/The Level Up Show. Everything's on the signs in front of you that you can follow, heart, like, whatever you want to call it. So please go on all the different channels. Make sure you follow us throughout the show.
It's
we
not
will
heart,
be.
Drew. It's like. You
It's
noob.
follow. It's
Or follow.
follow.
See, I'm sorry.
Follow.
It's follow. You noob.
I'm sorry. I got it wrong the one week. But guys, whenever you follow, like, heart us, we will get notified, and we will try to make sure we acknowledge your appreciation of our show by shouting you out live on the show. What's going on, everybody? What's new? Anything? No? No?
Not really.
No?
Well,
Mark,
my best friend got married
This is a
yesterday.
Really tame week.
it's a really tame week for you?
Yeah, it's been pretty low on all fronts.
Especially considering last week was so hectic trying to get this show together.
Everybody had something going on.
Yeah.
Everybody's like running around like crazy.
Yeah.
Like you guys had the most exciting thing to go on that was going on this week. Was
Yeah.
yesterday. Was yesterday?
Yeah, my
Right.
best friend got married yesterday, and I was the matron of honor. And I gave an awesome speech, and everyone loved it.
She was really nervous about giving the speech. She didn't think she would come off as like sincere or
Matron or maid?
She'd be
Matron.
matron. If you're already married, you're a matron of
Really?
honor. Yeah.
Know that?
Did not know that, huh?
I'll post a
Did you know
picture.
that?
Today I learned.
Yeah.
I learned something today.
The more you know. We need like a
Brought to you
little.
by the little
Now
show.
you know.
But yeah, she kept thinking that she was going to be robotic. So the night before, she was reading off to me multiple times, and I was trying to give her pointers. But then in that moment, like I knew it would happen, she became emotional, which isn't a bad thing. Like
No, it's like perfect.
That's good. Like you want to be
Right.
emotional, and it kind of opened her up, and she gave like the perfect
That's
speech. Like she couldn't have
emotional.
delivered it any better. And then throughout the entire night, just over and over again, more and more people came up to her and said like that was the best speech I've ever heard. Like, and she said earlier, like the photographer who'd done like probably 1,000 weddings said that was the best speech I've ever heard. Send it to me on Facebook. I want to post it
That's pretty cool.
on my Facebook page because I liked it so much.
Yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
I was very proud of her.
I'm
Did you do
trying
it?
to. I know I haven't done it yet.
So they are actually talking about the coma thing.
The coma. Oh no.
And and Evan Harris said coma is one thing, stuck on life support is another. But then Westfire said if it meant no more mac and cheese, then pull it immediately.
Very nice. All right, there's nothing really going on with
I
me
love
either.
you guys.
To be honest, just still working on the house, so I got to play Destiny a little bit. I had one day with Derek and Batman.
Yeah, I saw that.
And we played for like an hour and a half and had a really good time. Derek was just dominating. He's in the room and he knows.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
For a while, after a little while, I was like, man, I'm not like doing anything. And then he kind of pulled back a little bit
Well, I
and let
mean-
me kill.
I mean, here's the thing, and I was even saying it to you, it doesn't really matter too much for what you guys were doing because you've already played that. It's something new to you.
Yeah.
You know, if it was later on in the story, you want to get that sense of difficulty and everything.
Yeah.
But I did that with my cousin, or my cousin's boyfriend, I mean, and he was, I think level 2 when we started, and by the end of the one mission, he was already up at like level 7 or something like that.
Yeah.
He just wanted to get up there because, to him, it's more about the end game stuff than
Sure.
it is the early, but...
Talk a little bit about Destiny because you've had over a week with it now, and your feelings towards the game have changed a little bit, but you're still liking it.
I'm ready to give my final current stasis review.
Okay.
And I think with a game like Destiny, I actually plan on doing a review for this now, and then a year in rewind.
Yeah.
So I'll do it later on. But for right now, so Destiny overall, I think has been catching a lot of flack, undeservedly and deservedly at the same time. There's a lot of things that the community for Destiny is just the worst. It's the worst. If you go on like the forum pages and everything, those guys are just whiny little babies. I mean, just like a lot of them, especially for the Call of Duty folks or even Halo people. But it's just awful, and it's getting a lot of flack for not being the game they thought it was or not being the game that they were promised. But I think a lot of people forget that, like games like Halo, especially from Bungie, let's give that example, they make pretty much the entire story all right in one thing. The only thing DLC for Halo is the maps, the multiplayer maps. That's not the truth for Destiny. Destiny has a lot more story to go for. This is, and I think, I don't know if I talked about it before, but this was, what we already played was just a pre-log. That was it. The main story is yet to come, and it's probably actually going to come in free stuff. Some of the DLC is going to be worth it.
And that's par for the course when it comes to MMOs. MMOs, you never review after a week. And essentially, that's what Destiny is. It kind of is like an MMO.
Right, and they say it's
and
not
they
an
evolve.
MMO, and you're going to get a lot of flack. We're both going to get a lot of flack for that, but it is. Like,
In a
even
way
when they
it
say it's not, it has a lot of MMO,
Qualities.
That was really weird. The power just went up. Okay.
Oh, that's because the air conditioning
The air's
kicks
been
on.
kicking on for some reason.
It just quickly surges. Yeah.
But yeah, so you have those issues. But overall, the game is good. The mechanics are great. The maps are great. The progression is pretty good. The one weird thing that I like and don't like, and when I'm thinking about it, is how you level up after 20. You have to get certain armor. And I like it because it's Bungie's way of making sure that if you rank up to level 20, you could really suck, but just like, you could go through the whole thing and people could level you up because it's shared experience. So
Sure.
their way of making sure that you're strong enough to withstand some of the other bigger enemies is that they have armor rankings that actually go to your ranking. So light armor, or light source actually for your armor is how they measure your ranking after that. So their way of measuring again is if you're only at 21, that means your armor's not very good.
Okay.
And you get better armor, and that way they know that you're ready to go into a raid or ready to go into a certain difficulty strike.
Yeah.
Well, you look pretty.
So, what is your biggest complaint with the game now? Is it just the pacing right now? How
the game,
quickly?
You know what? There's two big complaints, and I've been playing a lot with a lot of different people. A select group, mainly more than anybody else, and they know a lot of it. But it's the same across all boards. People that love it. The two biggest complaints is that the number one over anything else, getting the armor that you need to rank up after level 20 is so random sporadic. You can go into, for instance, in Crucible, it's random, so you need more so legendary armor is what you need, the purple. But if you went to a match of Crucible with us, just like you did in the beta, you could be the worst on the team, getting one kill and like 15 deaths, and you could get an exotic item.
Yeah.
And that's happened to people before. We've seen it. Whereas a person that goes 20-3 gets nothing.
Yeah.
And it happens a lot, and it's a very unfair way. I get they want it to be more random and encompassing to everybody, but it's a very big slap in the face for those that try very, very hard.
Yeah.
Not always me, but other people. There have been times where I didn't do very well, and I got something free, and I kind of felt like cheap. I'm like, I didn't do shit. Whereas 2 matches ago, I destroyed everything.
Yep.
So that's the biggest one that it's so random. And I got
And we
like,
talked about this earlier, and it's funny because this brings it back to the MMO mentality. Is very MMO to have randomized, because that's what they do to bring you in. That's the addiction. Is it starts there from the random generation of these items and loot, because that's essentially what gambling is.
Right.
And that's what brings you
No, you're
back.
right.
And that's why it kind of is like an MMO.
So that's okay to a point, and I
Yeah.
get that. But the biggest problem is they have these random encrypted items.
Yeah.
So for instance, they have green. It goes green for uncommon, blue for rare, purple for legendary, yellow for exotic. And the problem is, everybody's trying to find these, purple, the purple encrypted ones for the most part. And you can go get them. And me personally, I've gotten 21 now. And Racer is probably cracking up hysterically in the room right now. So it's probably Derek and everybody else, because I've gotten 21, and all 21 have either been blue or green.
Okay.
And that's a big slap in the face to
Okay.
someone who's been doing like all this work, and it's just like, hey, congratulations, fuck you.
I hear there's a little bit of like a rubber banding going on too. Do you know what rubber banding
Yes,
is?
and I've seen it a lot. I almost took a couple pictures of it
Yeah.
in certain areas, but I was in multiplayer, so I didn't want to stop what I was doing.
What I'm referring to is, like, you see it in driving games a lot, is that suddenly when you're getting close to the end of the race, suddenly everyone else becomes faster, and it's kind of, in Destiny, it's not quite that, but as you get higher and higher,
Mhm.
and if you're getting things quickly, it seems like they actually pull back on the loot. And they want
Right.
to keep you in the game. They don't want you to reach that end game too quickly and to get everything you need. So they actually turn down maybe your percentage of getting certain things to make sure you have to stay in longer in order to achieve certain things. So it's kind of like a rubber banding of sorts. And I don't know if people are really so
No.
fond of that.
It's kind of, it detracts. It's actually something more recent to me. I didn't see it a lot. I saw it once or twice within the first week, but lately, these past few days, I've been seeing it all the time, especially today.
Mhm.
I was playing I was playing for a couple hours, and I saw it constantly, both in multiplayer and single player. So.
Yeah.
Do you think I should shut the windows since the air is on?
Yes, you should. Did you not shut them?
I didn't know the air was on.
Yes.
I just heard it kick in when you did.
All right. I think we can move on unless Mark, anything? No, we're good. Okay,
No,
let's start with
We're good.
the new level update. Check this
Let's
out.
move it.
Oh, you got another one? Do you not see what's going on right now?
We got a little intro for level update now.
Oh, cool.
Wow, you are oblivious.
Starting with, as you guys can see right here, big story. Microsoft has bought Mojang, the creators of
Mojang?
Minecraft. Yeah, Mojang. That's what their name is. They're the
I
creators.
thought it was pronounced mahjong.
Is it Mojang?
Like the Chinese tile game.
It's not spelled like that, is it?
No.
That's not how you spell
No,
Mahjong.
Mahjong is M-A-H-J-O-N-G.
Mojang just sounds like some really southern
M-A-J-H-O-N-G?
thing.
I can't remember.
Yeah, that's not the way Mahjong is spelled. So
Mojang.
I think it's Mojang.
I
actually.
think it's Mojang. I could be wrong. That's gonna be embarrassing. Somebody correct me.
I think it's Mojang.
Mojang. All right.
But it was rumored, and we talked about it. It was started off at $2 billion, and then Reuters came out and said $2.5 billion. That's what it ended up being. It was $2.5 billion. But of course, after it happened, the new kind of heads of Mojang had to respond to some questions and some concerns, of course. So here are a few of the questions.
Mojang is supposedly.
Mojang. Okay, Mojang. What about the other editions of Minecraft? Will they stop being developed? There's no reason for the development, sales, and support of the PC, Mac, Xbox 360, Xbox One, PS3, PS4, Vita, iOS, and Android versions of Minecraft to stop. We're extremely proud of all additions and the awesome things you have achieved through playing together. That's really great news because a lot of people were nervous. Vita is so close to coming out with Minecraft,
Right.
and people have waited so long for it.
But not only that, the biggest worry is updates. Minecraft is known to getting, a lot of these different updates that add awesome things to it, and if it's being bought up by Microsoft, what's to say that they're just like, oh, you guys got on the PS4, congratulations, you're done.
Now,
No,
it's
no.
now the question is, does this only apply to games already in development, other editions of Minecraft, or if Minecraft 2 does come out, is it going to be on all platforms, or is Microsoft going to hold some type of exclusivity to Xbox One, PC, whatever? That's the big question, and they could go either way because they might make a ton off of just publishing it and releasing it on all platforms, or they might just give it like a 3-month exclusivity
Right.
on Xbox One just to get people to jump on board and then release it on other platforms. I'm not sure what they're going to do, but I hope at least it does eventually come to other platforms and they don't hold it hostage on Xbox. Other question that they answered was, Sorry, go ahead.
Warrior and White goes Minecraft to Connect Boogaloo.
Oh man, would that be a disaster?
Oh my god, it's hilarious. The name is awesome.
What about the Mojang staff? What's happening to you guys? Though it's too early to confirm which of us will continue working on Minecraft or other projects, we predict that the vast majority, if not all, Mojangstas
Did you bring it up the show?
will continue to work at
Go on. Sorry.
Mojangstas will continue to work at Mojang for the time being. The founders, Notch, Carl, and Jacob, are leaving. We don't know what they're planning. It won't be Minecraft related, but it will probably be cool. That's the big news, is that all three of those founders have left immediately following the buyout. Notch, always known to be very anti, what do you want to call it?
Corporation.
Yeah, I guess, anti-corporation.
Selling out.
Yeah, selling out, yes.
That's
I guess
the perfect way to say it. I
he
guess.
had no choice in this matter, and it's like, all right, see you guys. He's
Right.
made his money. He doesn't have anything to worry about.
Right.
He can
He
sleep
can
on a
do
bed of cash.
nothing and not worry about anything anymore. But he's probably just gonna make games for fun.
I don't think he's even going to make games, to be honest with you.
No.
From what I've read of what he said, he seems like he's just kind of leaving. Like he kind of said, like, I'm not a game developer. He kind of seemed like he felt like he just got lucky,
Right.
and he's just going to take the money and run, which is fine. Go
Which,
for it.
I mean,
but
it speaks to exactly what he was doing. When he first got interviewed after his first started taking off like crazy, he was just like, I was just making it for fun.
Yeah.
You know, this is just a kickback to something, you know, see what we can do with it. You know, and people just really fell in love with it. You never knew.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it makes sense.
he hit the jackpot, and it's
Right.
fine if that's not for him. Then just take your money and run. Yeah,
Right.
go for it, man.
I mean,
Good for you.
What kind of game do you really make after a game like Minecraft?
I
It's not
know.
really a game that really speaks for sequels.
How do you top it? I mean,
Well,
sales-wise,
not
especially.
even that. I mean, yeah,
You
sales-wise,
can't.
but like,
You can't. He shot himself in the foot because he made a freaking blockbuster, addictive hit. I mean, you have so many different people playing Minecraft.
how long has it been on the top
It's-
charts?
Oh, years.
It's going to
Right.
stay there for
Yeah.
years. Everybody like he's successfully like built himself up for failure from now on because even if the next game he releases is good, everybody will just go and say, "Oh, it's not as good as Minecraft,"
Yeah.
Right.
and it's like you can't do better than
It's
Minecraft.
lose-lose for
Are
him
you
now, yeah.
freaking
Right.
kidding me?
Yeah, he's probably smart to
You
run.
could buy a
though.
game studio.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm not saying he shouldn't do work. It would be awesome to see him make other stuff, but
Right.
everybody's going to compare it to Minecraft, and it's never going to compare.
No,
So
yeah.
it's really unfortunate.
He's just focused on mobile games if he ever wants to make another game.
Yeah.
Like at that point, everybody, the bar is set so low in mobile game space
Yeah.
that it's just like, oh, this game kind of sucks, but it's mobile, so it's okay.
I know that feeling though, like it's not at all a great comparison, but you remember that Final Fantasy video I created like 4 years ago? And
Oh my God,
It's
it's-
above 5 million views now.
And
I
you haven't made
I'm
anything
so
else since.
scared to make another because I'm never gonna hit
You
over
remember
5
this?
million views on a video again.
Oh my god.
Check it out, guys. I got, for some reason, I don't know what the hell happened, but I did a This Is War video by 30 Seconds to Mars for Final Fantasy. It's up on my Drew M1788 YouTube, and
You linked it, I think, right?
I've linked it before,
Yeah.
and it's now above 5 million views, and I will never ever reach anything like that ever again.
You
So
don't
I
know
understand
that.
the fear.
You don't know that.
I don't know, but I
Just
Just so
probably
you
not.
guys know,
Yeah.
we're at 103. We were at
Oh.
121. We lost some.
Okay. Thank you.
A lot of people live here see my T-shirt and they want a T-shirt.
Well, that's our old logo, and we're gonna have to make
We're gonna
a
have to
new.
make a new one, then we're gonna have to contact Greg.
Yeah.
See what we
Greg
can
made
do.
us our T-shirts.
Yeah, those were our original T-shirts from when Greg came on the show.
We should.
months
You know what we
back.
should do actually though? We should for like the people who have
I
been
like
here
it.
from the beginning.
It's
We should
comfy.
make them like classic ones.
Yeah.
I think that would actually.
That's a classic right there.
We should
classic.
ship them to you for Christmas if you believe in Christmas.
believe in Christmas.
Believe in Christmas.
I believe in Christmas. I just don't believe.
I
in
do
Santa.
believe in Christmas. I
It's
do.
not.
No, there aren't.
Santa
There better
comes
not
every
be. Do you
year.
hear what we
I know.
say?
Do you hear what we're
Right?
saying?
There better not
No
be.
children should be watching this
If
show.
you're
Parental
under
advisory.
13 years of age, turn this off right now.
All right, let's get. We're the slowest group ever.
Oh my
tonight.
god, we are so off track.
All right. Will you still be able to tweet about features and interact with the community on a personal level, just like you've done in the past? Yes, that is not going to change. And finally, as I answered already, but how much money was the company bought for? And he said Microsoft acquired Mojang for a smooth $2.5
Right, I like it.
billion.
Right, I like how he said. You can always imagine the way he said it, like.
Yeah, he definitely said that on purpose that way. So very cool, good for them.
But going off of that, even more better Microsoft news, or bad depending on how you view it at the end of this, especially. Michael Pachter said Xbox One has an exciting holiday promotion coming up. He went as far as saying that people should be waiting to buy an Xbox One until the holiday. And Microsoft probably isn't very happy.
Yeah, I don't think they probably
So
are.
Positive and negative, but the good thing coming out of this is that you weren't really selling many consoles anyway, so I'm sure the people that this is reaching isn't really going to affect.
Yeah.
Like, to me, it's like I was going to buy an Xbox One, and if I got, enough to where I felt comfortable buying it next week, I might have, but now I'm just going to wait a couple weeks.
I mean, really, who knows who Michael Pachter is besides like people like us?
Right.
There's no reason for the
but
normal
no one knows what it
consumer.
could be at all. Like, I mean, is it going to be another price drop, which would be crazy? 2 price drops in a year.
It's possible.
Which, I mean, it wasn't really a price drop. They just removed a feature that I really want.
I don't think they will do that just because it would really
No.
seem like they're giving in. So that's my opinion.
What did you put down from bundle with, what was it? MCC?
That would be a Master Chief Collection, potentially.
Oh, okay.
That could be big,
I could
right?
have just written that out so I understand.
I really thought you would know what MCC meant.
No one knows what MCC means.
Master Chief Collection. If they were to bundle Master Chief Collection,
Right.
no raise in
Done.
price.
I feel like that's what it's going to be. They could even have a special edition console coming out that's secret.
Mhm.
That could be big. I mean, they already have 2 special consoles.
Minecraft is like really cheap now. What if they include Master
Include
Chief
Mi-
Collection and Minecraft?
Oh my
even
god,
just include
that's
it in the
just
price.
cheating.
or all of the above.
Or all the above. Price drop.
Price drop.
Master
Price
Collection.
the $400 with the Kinect,
Why not both?
Master Chief Collection, and
That would do well. Yes, but can they afford that? I doubt
right.
it.
Pachter also touched on his prediction that consoles will die in this generation. Again, he talks out of his ass and also out of truth as well at the same time.
There's parts
saying, yeah, he's right. He said, I think consoles are going away because you need a console if you have, because you used to need a console because you used to not have a microprocessor connected to your TV. Now you have Chromecast stick or even a Roku box, so you can. So why would we buy consoles? I mean, your phone will be powerful enough to power any game within the next 2 years, 2 more generations. So why buy a console? I think Microsoft actually knows that. I think a lot of people know this.
Yeah.
I
How
don't-
far away is it is the question.
Right, and I think what you're going to end up seeing is that you're going to go more towards these hybrid gaming console computer, amalgamations almost
Yeah.
in a way. Whereas like Sony's going to combine, a PC into their game console or something like that. Same thing, especially Microsoft.
I mean, just this week we saw now that smartphones, I think I reported on it last week, that smartphones are now capable of remote play
right.
from the Sony,
Not that it's going
network.
to work very well, but
They showed it off. Granted, this is within a conference space. Thank you for the Twitch heart, by the way. That ding, whenever somebody follows us on Twitch, we will get that notification and we will acknowledge it.
Evan Harris said, don't they say that about every generation with consoles now?
Yeah.
And
But-
they do, you're right.
On IGN, you can check it out. Brian Altano did a little demonstration of Knack.
What would Brian Boitano do?
Yeah, Knack on the phone, the Xperia, whatever
Right.
it's called, and it was perfect. No
Right,
lag
that's not really
whatsoever.
a graphical enhanced game. I mean, it is to an
Well, that has
extent.
nothing to do with it, though. The graphics don't matter. It's all about
Also
the network.
processing unit.
It's the network, because all it is streaming the
Right, it's cloud
visuals
gaming and everything like that.
to the screen.
So-
So it's all about your connection, and that's what they keep saying though. When I read that story last week, is they really don't recommend doing it like you do on Vita, where you can.
Mhm.
I could be at work and use the Wi-Fi. They said be on your own home network.
Right.
Then it'll work great. So I think that's going to be the caveat there. But if that is the case, it sounds like it could work really well. Kristen, you are up.
Concept art for Guillermo's. Oh, not Guillermo.
Gorilla.
Concept art for Gorilla's open world RPG potentially leaked. Somehow, a Chinese forum was capable of releasing 2 pieces of artwork, claimed to be concept work for Guerrilla Games'
Now 3,
epic
actually.
new open world RPG, codenamed Horizon. As you can see on the screen, the game seems to be a collaboration of many different settings, such as sci-fi, prehistoric, and more. Both pieces of artwork show robotic dinosaurs, but the first also shows 3 unique characters, which might imply that there will be co-op functionality. The redhead with the bow and arrow fits right in with the first leaked rumors of the game on NeoGAF, from user Shinobi, who said, "Game sounds unique, has some lush environments, robot dinos, other weird exotic creatures. Red-headed female protagonist. Should expect a full reveal E3 2015 with a fall 2015 target release."
I mean, that guy nailed it. That was like
Right.
a year ago. I
Right.
mean, there's nothing there that wasn't true. The lush environments,
No.
the robo dinos, the
So this is the
redheaded
guy that
protagonist.
had inside information.
He clearly did.
Yeah. I'm going to point something out. Can you go back to the first picture real quick?
Yeah, sure. Hold on one sec.
Can I just say, like,
There's
the
the first
concept
picture.
for this is basically somebody saying, let's take everything we find awesome and put it into a game.
Right. Can I want to point out,
Dinosaurs.
we've had Beowulf. I want to be Beowulf.
Beowulf.
Beowulf. Yo,
Instead of
Beowulf.
It's Beowulf. I want to be that guy.
Just don't have a
lot of
terrible
people
3D movie made with Angelina Jolie as like the demon.
A lot of people miss the third character. He kind of gets lost in the
Right,
shuffle.
one up,
There's a
yeah.
guy on top of the
Right.
Robodino. Like,
I don't know how
it's
they
weird.
didn't how
Yeah,
they
it's
missed that.
it's
like right
Assassin's
there for you.
Creed.
Yeah.
I feel like it's everything Turok was supposed to be, meeting Skyrim.
Yeah, it looks really cool
Doesn't it? Is
concept
that what
art
it looks
wise.
Yeah,
I feel like that's
Where's-
a perfect.
maybe like Turok in the future.
Now, here's what I wanna know.
future Turok.
Jason X in space. Now we got Torak.
Oh
in
my
space
god,
kind of thing.
Jason.
Is it going to chirp at you if you kill a dinosaur?
I hope so.
That better be in there.
Yeah, but I mean, this is a nonsensical mismatch of all these different things, and I love that when things do that. Final Fantasy 15, for instance, is kind of doing that actually, and we'll touch
Right.
on that later. I kind of like that when there's this like nonsensical kind of mishmash to a
Right.
game. Doesn't make
Right.
any sense.
Well, I mean, what do you think that this game is going to be?
I think it's gonna be open world. I think it's gonna be an RPG. I think it's gonna have the writer of Fallout New Vegas
What is
on it.
what is the precursing plot to this?
I really have no idea. All I can imagine is that the world went to ruins. Thank you for the Twitch heart. After these kind of things were developed,
Right.
and this is kind of like hundreds of years later
Guys,
potentially.
thank you for all the Twitch follows.
Yeah, all those Twitch hearts there. Thank you. Maybe this is hundreds of years later, and they're still on the Earth,
Right.
but now we've got like we're back to prehistoric
It's like
time.
Renaissance. and
We've
we're
started
trying to
over.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
my thought. What, Kristen?
Nothing.
Are you shushing?
No, look.
Draft Kristen has made her appearance. Mark, will you please acknowledge our Twitch hearts?
I want to. I really hope one of them's like Robo Dinosaur. That would be awesome. We got This Works, XX Dead Meat, Vash, and Larson.
Thank you to the four
Thank
of
you
you
guys.
for your Twitch hearts. Really appreciate those guys.
Skype lines are now open.
They are open. Mark, feel
Alright,
free to
good.
post. Yeah. Thank you. Guys, Skype us at the Level Up Show, spelled exactly how it sounds, no spaces. We can talk about any of the big
Right.
stories we've already
This is
covered.
Andrew. This is Mike. This is Marcus Aurelius. And I am a giraffe.
But guys, Mark and Kristen are in the chat room with you guys. Mark is Marked Words, and Kristen is Kristen Says Be Nice. So make sure that you remember that they're a part of the show, and you can utilize them even to try and give us some fan feedback or questions. They'll do their best to feed them off to us.
So guys, our Skype lines are open. Skype us at the Level Up Show, spelled exactly how it sounds. We've covered Michael Pachter's prediction for an Xbox One bundle. Let's see what you guys think it's going to be, or even what Guerrilla Games' next game is going to be, or what you think about Notch leaving Mojang or Mojang, or just tell us what the actual way to say the damn name is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, give us your pronunciation.
Stick Breitling. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Does anyone want to flash for Squadron? He wants to know if anyone's going to flash on the show.
No.
Oh, is he back again asking?
Yeah.
How about we give a certain number
Well,
to
he
that?
can.
How about we give a number to that? I'm okay with flashing.
Is that what happens at 300 this week?
350.
That would be
I,
so
Oh,
funny.
God.
See his
I'm
little-
not gonna make it easy, but 350 and I'll flash.
He doesn't
Little
put out for
chest
nothing,
hair.
guys.
Yeah, I'll
Little
flash you guys at
chest
350.
hair.
But I saw a good little comment in the chat room about from Stick Breitling or something like that, and he said, "But all Final Fantasies are a fantasy based on reality," and
Right.
that's kind of true since 7.
Right.
But 1 through 6 were kind of high fantasy, and then it went to like realistic fantasy with 7. So it's changed over time.
So gritty. Let's see who's calling.
Gaming Sniper.
I know who this is actually. I have a feeling. I think this is. Oh my God, it's Richie.
What was that?
Hey, is this Richie?
No.
Oh man,
Bill!
I thought it was. Oh my God, it's Richie. I guess I was
Drew,
wrong. All right.
Stop it.
How you doing, Gaming Sniper? You were on the Level Up Show.
Good. I wanted to talk about PS Vita and the future for it.
Okay.
Okay.
You mean the no future for it?
Right.
Yeah, that's kind of basically.
What were you
Yeah,
hoping before all the stuff that's come out over the past few months, from Sony about the Vita? What were you hoping to see?
Well, when I first got it, biggest thing was Call of Duty, but that was a big fail, I thought.
Huge mistake.
Terrible.
It was just they did it in like 6 months. I hear that was
Right.
literally like 6 months of development time on that. It was a total just get this done by launch, and we'll see what happens. And it did not work. And if anything, it was a disaster because now no Call of Duty is going to come to it again, and probably if it were, people won't trust it. So that
It's
was a huge
sad
failure.
when Call of Duty will go to a Wii before it goes to a PS4 system.
Yeah, definitely.
Horrible.
But what are you hoping were to happen with Vita to kind of bring it back to life?
Truthfully, I think a better Call of Duty before it, or just like I was always thinking when the Vita first came out and I played Call of Duty. Why not have like just zombies? Like take all the old zombies map into one game, call it like Call of Duty Zombies, and put it for the Vita. Have like old survival, but in the Vita like that. Because I know a lot of people like the Vita and stuff. So
Yeah, I mean the people that have it do.
Right, and what stinks is a lot of the developers behind it. They were like, especially, and I'm gonna guarantee you a lot of it had to do with people at Sony telling them what they wanted out of it. But it was such a poor mindset that they were like, listen, this AAA franchise is doing good, so make that game work on this. And what they didn't realize is you could do just like you said. You could do minor versions. Take things that people loved about it. Don't charge me, $40 for the game. Charge me $20 for a watered down version of something I loved out of the game, and give it to me in portable form, like Zombies, or just like just little things. The portable titles now, or the arcade titles, indie games are doing. That's the only thing that's really going to carry this, and that's the only thing that is carrying the system.
We touched on this last week, Gaming Sniper. I don't know if you knew this already, but do not look forward to any big first-party titles anymore in the Vita. Sony literally said that's not going to happen anymore. They Uncharted, Killzone, Infamous, those will no longer come to the Vita because they know that it won't sell, and they'd rather devote themselves to the PS4. They did say that you can rely on third-party supported indie stuff, but yeah, don't hold out on those big first-party titles like a God of War.
yeah.
Unfortunately.
And then, go ahead.
I'm with you though. I mean, the Vita started off as a tremendously promising little handheld. It's beautifully built. It feels great. It's got amazing graphics, and I think at the time it actually had the right price point. It's just Nintendo did the best thing they possibly could by lowering right at the right time and releasing Mario Kart, I think, right at the launch of Vita. It was just they couldn't have done anything better to kill the Vita, and good for them. I mean, they were smart, but unfortunately Vita just kind of died with that. So I'm sad too about it, and I think that at this point it's kind of a little too late, and there's no coming back.
It sucks so bad because I YouTube, and when I first got the Vita, I was all on it trying to get feedback and stuff. But it's like the only views I got were like 60, maybe the most at 80.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, surprising.
Yeah, it's got a following, but I think they're just kind of invested in their system, and that's it. Like they play their games, they love their third-party support and their little indie stuff, and they've got 20 games, and that's what helps the attachment rate. But in the mainstream, kind of like the people that talk about gaming, it's not really them. 3DS kind of dominates, not Space more so. But yeah, I'm with you, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for the call. That was a great call, man.
And one more thing, real quick. How do you feel about I heard there's gonna be like a little thing in Advanced Warfare game mode where it's gonna be like an old Call of Duty, no jetpacks, no nothing, or like just a regular old Call of Duty. That's just what I feel like.
I think that would be a good idea.
Yeah.
I think so. I mean, always good to cater to the old fans, and I think that the new stuff is going to turn off a lot of Call of Duty players. So I think it would be smart on them. I haven't heard that yet. Maybe I just haven't seen that story around.
I heard it all over YouTube. It's like a thing that's been trending slowly, but
yeah,
I think it would be a good idea.
That'd be great. I hope it's not just one of those really well placed rumors, which could very well be true, but that would be good. But I feel like, the only reason I'm very hesitant on that is I feel it's very pulling back from what makes this game distinct.
Yeah, definitely, so. I agree. I think it looks special because of what they're doing.
Exactly,
with it,
especially the maps.
Yeah.
The maps you couldn't traverse unless you had this. Thing, so.
But if that is confirmed at any point, we will of course report on it in the next week or so. But thank you so much for calling in, man.
Yep. Bye.
See ya. All right, thank you so much, guys.
Go down the whole thing.
Yeah, I was just about to say that because we're at 130 or so. Thank you so much for coming in, guys. 150. We are the Level Up Show. We are a gaming dedicated talk show on every Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm Andrew, my co-host Mike, and we also have Mark and Kristen in the chat room with you guys. Did something funny happen?
What do you think happened?
What?
I missed it. What happened?
Look!
Oh.
Wait, what?
I don't even know what that is. What is that?
It's a bowl of mac and cheese.
It looks like a giant, massive maggot.
It is.
I thought it was a brain. I had no idea what that was.
I'll leave that on here.
But guys, if you are enjoying the show so far, please follow us
inside of the Hamburglar space
on any of the different channels there. We are, of course, on Twitch at twitch.tv/TheLevelUpShow. Go on there and heart us. You'll get email notifications whenever the show goes live. I will continue this in a second. Let's take this call from Chris. Hey, Chris, you are on the Level Up Show. How you doing, man?
Hey guys, how are you?
Doing great. What do you want to talk about tonight?
Not much. The Xbox, actually.
Okay, go ahead.
I've actually been waiting myself for a good time to buy it. I'm hoping that they do a Halo one. I was interested in the Sunset Overdrive one.
A bundle of some sort of Sunset Overdrive. Is that confirmed at all, or just speculation there?
No, it's confirmed. It was showing off at
Oh,
at
I think,
GameStop,
yep, you're right. Yeah, so that's a good idea, and I do think Sunset Overdrive is going to do well for them, but I think even better would be a Master
Right.
Chief Collection bundle
which is why
around the
it
holidays.
wasn't announced.
They still have time. Maybe they don't want to, if they announce it now, people are going to wait for it, and they never want to do that. They'll announce it maybe a month or less before it releases, just to make sure that they can keep selling up to that
Can you
point.
imagine? You know what I just thought of? Can you imagine like a creeper themed Xbox One?
That would be cool. They own Minecraft now, and Mojang,
Right.
or Mojang. So
Yeah.
that would be awesome. Yeah, I got mine.
It's just like green with like black dots. On
I
it.
got my
Anyway, I'm
creeper
sorry,
here.
Chris. I think I ever talked about.
Yeah,
that.
but Master Chief Collection, I mean, it would have to be 400. If they could release that for 400 with the game included, I think that would totally sell during the holidays.
Are you planning on getting a Kinect or no?
I haven't decided. My cousin hasn't. He's talked a lot about it, and I really don't know either way.
I'll tell you right now, I am only gonna get a console that has a Kinect with it. So I don't care what bundle comes with what game, because it's not gonna make sense. Like you're gonna have to pay $150 for a unit that comes for free, and the unit that's just $100 more. Like that's just a big giant FU to me as a
Yeah.
consumer.
Yeah,
Yeah, the 50 price point for just the Kinect seems very odd, but
They're trying to squeeze all the money they can out of you. I mean,
What is something else that would get you to jump on, Chris, besides Master Chief Collection?
well, I definitely like Sunset Overdrive. I definitely want to get that. Those are the two games I'm most looking forward to right now for Kinect.
Yeah, Sunset Overdrive is one of the
That's
AAA
fine,
titles. Yeah, one of the AAA titles that I'm most jealous of, but one of the indie space I'm most jealous of: Ori and the Blind Forest, Inside, and Below. Those are the three that I'm also very jealous of, and I hope that they come to PS4 at some point. But I think Sunset Overdrive is a lost cause when it comes to PlayStation guys. We're not going to see that one.
Yeah, I doubt that.
Yeah. All right, man. We're going to move on to the next level update. Thanks for calling in.
All right, I'll talk to you guys later.
See you, Chris. All right, I was talking about
so you're going through the.
all the different channels. Started off with twitch.tv/The Level Up Show. Guys, we've already had 4 follows tonight on Twitch. Can keep them coming. We'll get notifications. We will shout you out. It's twitch.tv/The Level Up Show, spelled exactly how it sounds. If you do hard us, we will get notifications. You will get notifications when we go live. What were you going to say?
Someone wants to know where you got that Last of Us poster. I forget where.
That
you
was off DeviantArt. You can find it. Just type in LE Giraffe and you should be able to find it. And it's very high resolution for free for you to print out. So check that out. It is awesome. It's a great piece of artwork, and I'm really happy to have it back there.
It's
Actually,
it's so simple and so perfect.
yeah, I love minimalism.
I love minimalistic art.
Okay,
Yeah.
what's like in their body?
Yeah, you can't really
Yeah,
see it, but in the
why?
body you can see like the clickers and like a map inside the giraffe. Yeah.
Where's the clicker at?
There's a clicker inside of Ellie's
down there.
artwork right there. Yeah, it's really cool.
That
Thank you for
sounds
the
rated R.
thank you for the Twitch heart, guys.
But yeah, no, Facebook.com/The Level Up Show as well.
But more importantly, Twitter. Go on Twitter, guys,
Right.
at The Level Up Show, level spelled LVL. Please follow us on there. We're very active on our Twitter. Go on our YouTube. We've already gotten 1 subscription tonight on YouTube from the Wake ZZZ Full. Thank you so much for subscribing on
I
YouTube.
can't remember who it was Thursday.
Yeah.
We got our first donation, which we're
Yeah.
extremely grateful for. I don't know if you guys knew that.
Yep.
I did know
heard
that.
Yeah.
Who was it? God, I can't remember his name.
It was V Slater.
V Slater, that's
Thank
what
you
it
so
was.
much, V Slater, if you're in here for your donation on Thursday. That is off of our stream tip, guys. If you do like our show, if you want to help it grow even further in the future beyond what we've done recently, go on streamtip.com/T/The Level Up Show and donate whatever you see fit. I think it's a $1 minimum, but even that, we would be so appreciative. And then finally, if you want to add us on PSN, I've already gotten a few I will acknowledge. I am Drew M1788 on PSN, and Mike is the Noob Guru. So please add us on PSN, and we will add you after the show has ended. Go ahead.
It's so funny that this is the second person that noticed my hair was a different color. It's so subtle too.
Yeah. I see it. I'm surprised they see it. It's very dark.
I'm impressed.
The
Yeah.
fans are noticing it.
I'm
before
impressed.
Yeah, very impressive. All right, let's move on to our next level update segment here. Big news here. Final Fantasy Type 0 HD release date has finally been revealed. It was originally revealed as Agito 13 way back and was part of the Fabula Nova Crystallis series, the 13 series as it was called back then. It released in Japan on the PSP in October of 2011 way back. Everyone was shocked when we found out earlier this year that it was going to be ported over to Xbox One and PS4. Everyone was kind of hoping it would be a Vita game, but they decided to really upgrade the graphics, as you can see on the screen here, and go for next gen with Xbox One and PS4. Even more surprising is how soon we're going to be able to play it, though. From a pulled Game Informer report, we now know that the game will release worldwide on March 20th of 2015, and even better than that, every copy of the game will come with a voucher code for a Final Fantasy 15 demo. The demo is going to be called Episode Duske, which is the land that you will be traveling in the demo. I'll be talking about that more a little later. The demo will allow us to go through the opening moments of the game, and though it is not included on the disc, they are saying that it will release very similar to the time frame of Type 0 HD, maybe even on the same day, March 20th. So awesome news there. It never came to America, never localized, so this is really big news for
What was the price point gonna be for that?
It is going to be $60, I'm pretty
Really?
sure.
It's gonna be a full price.
I think it's okay because, as I was saying, it never came to America.
Right.
This is an entirely new
was it a
game for us.
$60 game when it was on the Vita.
No, it probably was 40 or
So
PSP.
Why not
yeah.
a $40 or $50 game like all the other? Like, look at Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
That's perfect. You know, Square has a good idea with doing that as a $40, collection. It's 3 games, one that people probably would pay $60 for alone by itself, all together in a package for $40.
I guess another part of it is we get the Final Fantasy 15 demo. I mean, you're paying for that, of course.
I think it's
And that's going to be relatively long. I'll talk about it, as I said, later, but it's not a short demo.
I know everybody's tired of Bungie and Destiny talk, but according to Bungie, Destiny gets better after 20 hours. Where have I heard that before?
Yeah.
Probably me and everybody else that I play with on Destiny.
Yeah.
And in the chat room. Executive producer Patrick O'Kelly said 20 hours in, I think players will find that they've evolved into playing a whole different kind of game than the shooter that started them off. They'll find that they're immersed in a different world and are deep into the history of their characters. Wow. Characters. They'll build a community of other players, and without realizing it, they'll have learned some sophisticated mechanics that enable them to gear up and dive into a single 6-player cooperative raid in pursuit of high-level exotic weapon and armor. Fuck you, Bungie. That was the biggest waste of 5 hours. And it's also impossible that Bungie lost $2.5 million due to the lower than expected review scores, according to a leaked contract from a few years back.
You might remember this contract,
I do.
yeah.
Activision would pay the licensor to a quality bonus, which means that if it lived up to a certain hype, in the amount of $2,500,000, should Destiny game number 1 achieve a rating of at least 90, determined by GameRankings.com or the equivalent reputable services if GameRankings.com is no longer in service, as of 30 days following the commercial release of Destiny number 1 on Xbox 360.
This is something we've heard of before, and this is back when this contract released, it was confirmed that this does happen. Like, they actually have these contractual, what do you want to call them, clauses, I guess, in place that will bonus the developer of the game if they reach a certain Metacritic score. So they really, I'm sure they want to reach that score,
Right.
and I'm sure that also has a part in maybe the corruption within the industry of paying for review scores, because, I mean, it's worth it for them. $2.5 million if they could have gotten a 90, which obviously they didn't. But.
Right. But in other news, Lizard Squad again trying to attack another company for doing what they felt was ripping off customers. In this case, it was Bungie. They brought down the servers for about an hour, I think.
Not
it was.
long.
It wasn't very long at all. By the time I had gotten home, I had seen the story and the update all within one article on the site that I used, so it didn't really do too much.
But even worse than that, the group once again tormented the Sony Online Entertainment president, John Smedley, who had his flight diverted that one time. He responded on Twitter saying, "Some idiot wannabe hacker decided to send me a picture of my dad's grave out here in
Ew, I
San
didn't see
Diego.
that part.
You will be found." That was also Lizard Squad. So for some reason, they are still tormenting this guy.
Why?
I have no idea. Terrible, though.
People suck.
There's nothing worse than DDoS attacks because they're not something that companies usually defend against, because it's not really a bad thing in that it releases private information. It's just an annoyance.
Well, you can't. There's not really any way to defend against it.
Not
unless
not
having,
big ways, yeah.
More servers. You
Yeah.
can't just suddenly say well, we're gonna have.
Which is
more
why
servers.
Microsoft does better with these kind of things, because they've obviously over the years established many more servers than Sony has. So they're Sony is a little bit more of a
Yeah,
target for this kind of thing.
It's a shame.
It is a shame, and it's obviously disgusting the kind of stuff that they're doing when it comes to
Especially
John
that
Stanley.
last part. I didn't know that.
You didn't know that. I can't stand that. These guys need to be found. I really hope soon.
It's like emotional.
Terrorism.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely is. That's exactly what it is. It's
Just
really
like in The Leftovers.
Yeah.
That one scene.
by the cult. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like these kind of guys are almost like cults. It's disgusting.
Yeah, pathetic.
You're up, Kristen, with the
Can I
final
just
story.
say that it really is too quiet down here without that music playing in the background, the Twitch music. I miss
But we
it.
never have the Twitch music playing.
like the
we,
music.
We mute the television though.
No, but I miss it.
I mean, I turned it down almost all the way. I leave it up a little bit just to
I don't
give a
hear
little.
it.
We don't hear it because I turned
We
down
never
the TV.
really did too much.
Yeah.
Although you know what is different at your old apartment? There was a lot of things going on. So there was like here everything
It is really
soundproof,
quiet.
which is nice. But
Yeah.
you guys are so used to like vents and washing machines and like
Yeah,
all these
it's
things going
so
on.
quiet. Like I really want some music on.
Before you move on to the next story, let me
Should have,
just
like, a white noise
quickly
generator.
acknowledge our friend request here. Guys, thank you so much for a PSN friend request from Dominican71, Heavy Rygar, JDude99, Jim BO44, Ryan W86, Shimar Joe 96. Those are our PSN friend requests. Thank you so much. Anybody that hasn't already, I am Drew M1788 on PSN. And also, please make sure you add us on Twitch at twitch.tv/The Level Up Show. We'll acknowledge any follows tonight, of course. Go ahead, Krista.
I feel like I have a good story.
Yeah. And also Duke Guru over here.
No, it's okay. Don't worry about me. No, I don't want friends apparently.
Ah,
I feel like I have a good story.
you do.
Destiny breaks PS4 sales records. Oh!
Congrats to Destiny, of course.
People in the chat room are gonna blow up in like 2 seconds.
Destiny! I used to have a friend named Destiny.
Was she a stripper?
No.
All right, we're gonna skip over that.
I hope there's no one named Destiny in this.
I know, really.
I am sorry.
Oh, we're above 200.
I'm not sorry.
And another 150, you have to.
I will flash at 250.
People, they want to
No,
see you
what?
flash
350?
while you're tired
At 350, I am.
Right.
250 is Pterodactyl Andrew. 350 is Andrew flashing.
What was
No,
300?
they want to see you flash while you're being a pterodactyl.
Oh my God. Okay.
Actually, that
Like,
makes sense.
ah!
Let's do pterodactyl for 300.
Okay, Pterodactyl Andrew, and at the same time flashing
At 300.
At 300, but since we're at 200, let's make our noise, Kristen. Thank you for 200. Keep them coming, guys.
Okay, so the Destiny breaks PS4 sales record. I just said the Destiny. Last week we found out that Activision made back its $500 million investment in Destiny in just one day. By the way, Dave said you have Tourette's for that. Every time you hear it, you like react.
That's what the people want. They want me to react. They're
I know.
following us.
It's no surprise that Destiny is also helping PS4 sales. Via a post on the PlayStation blog, Adam Boyes said, "What a week!
I don't think it was for the chat.
What a week! Since Destiny launched 1 week ago, it has officially become the biggest PS4 game launch in North America ever. The game broke records for being the fastest purchased and most played PS4 game during its first week on sale. In fact, last week was our single biggest PS4 hardware sales week since Christmas 2013. That's a lot of PS4s. Thanks, Guardians!
That's huge. I mean, since before last Christmas, that means that they're a good bit above 10 million now, and I'm actually curious that they might hit 15 million this year in sales with Christmas. It's possible. That's unbelievable. The sales rate for them right now.
As for the rest of the world, Destiny helped the PS4 quadruple in sales and outsell the Xbox One 2-1 in the United Kingdom.
Yeah, so it's even taken over there more so than it was. It was a little more of an even race in the UK because obviously they do like the Xbox over there, but Destiny is pushing the PS4 further ahead right now with that one. So guys, that is our second level update. Skype is now live. Please call in at the Level Up Show. Spell it exactly how it sounds, no spaces. Up to 225 in the room now. Thank you so much for coming in. Anybody who's new in here, we are the Level Up Show. We are a gaming dedicated talk show on every Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Please make sure you follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/The Level Up Show. If you follow us there, you will get notifications when we go live. We got another Twitch heart just recently. What was it?
Jamwell21.
Jamwell, thank you for your Twitch heart. Really appreciate that, man.
Any news on the Silent Hills?
We'll be discussing Silent Hills later. There was a concept trailer released at Tokyo Game Show that was really cool, and we will show that off.
do think Silent Hill will be crazy awesome with Guillermo del Toro working on that.
I agree,
Oh my
man.
God, that's
Holy
awesome.
crap.
Did you see his interview
Best
that he had
director.
about Hideo?
No.
Oh, you didn't
Go
put
ahead.
it in there? I can't remember exactly what it said. I'm gonna try to pull it up real quick.
Any tidbits from it that you remember?
No,
Okay.
man. I'm gonna pull it up real quick.
Okay, no problem. Guys, also we've gotten a few YouTube. Ryan Walker subscribed to us recently on YouTube. Thank you so much, Ryan. That is really important to us because we archive all of our episodes on YouTube for you to watch after the show if you miss it. So please go on youtube.com/The Level Up Show, level spelled LVL, and subscribe. We will shout you out. Derek!
Mike.
Oh, it's
Kristen,
Couch Derek!
Mark.
Couch
We have a
Derek!
very bad
What's
feed
up,
right now of
Couch
you.
Derek?
Couch
Oh,
Derek.
what?
I have a bad feed of you right now. It's not very good quality, but it's still nice to see you, Derek.
It works. It's good.
There's
Always nice
that.
to see you two, Mike.
There you go.
Drew Crap. Now I get the name confusion.
How you doing, Derek?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Kind of thought I was a little bit wrong about that dinosaur news.
Yeah, about Gorilla showing it off at Tokyo Game Show, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't happen. I'm not too surprised just because Tokyo Game Show is a little bit more Japan-based and Gorilla is out of Europe. I think out of, is it Germany? I can't think exactly, but I know they're out of Europe. So they'll probably save that for, according to the rumors on NeoGAF, username Shinobi said that it will be revealed next E3 for a 2015 release, actually, end of 2015. So hopefully that's true. It does look awesome. The concept art is really kind of mind-blowing. I love the mishmash of all the different elements. Dinosaur games are just kind of few and far between anymore, don't you agree?
Totally. Oh, holy crap. Another call.
Another call, but we'll stay on you for now, Derek. Don't worry. I love how it zooms in on him slowly. He just
I
gradually.
know this is the power of the Connect, so that guy who called in earlier, this is essentially your Skype Connect.
Yeah.
demo.
This is what you guys are
More
missing.
importantly, the question.
Awesome.
Go ahead, Derek.
Alright, since we know that dinosaurs are now popping up, what dinosaur would you like to face, or any other living creature, in a robotic form?
In robotic form. That's
Oh
a
my
specific
God.
point there.
Wait, it can be anything, like including dinosaurs and anything else, or like
Anything else? You
Ooh,
can
and-
pull out, like, Godzilla or Mothra if you want.
Mechagodzilla.
They already did Mechagodzilla.
Dinosaur-wise, I really want to see raptors. I think raptors are the most scary of all dinosaurs, and I think Jurassic
Oh,
Park has a lot
100%.
to do with that. But their speed and
oh my
agility.
God, yeah, they're smart.
Yeah, they're smart. Exactly, they're the most
That's
smart,
the thing.
supposedly. So I would be terrified of raptors.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I think pterodactyls would be fucking terrifying. Like, I mean, you can hear a plane coming,
Yeah.
but you're not gonna hear a pterodactyl coming. Like, you're just gonna be walking down the street, and this big giant bird is just gonna snatch you up and be like, "Bitch, you're mine," and just fly away.
No, what
I gotta go with Puzzfilled Scab
Okay.
on this one. Robot Octopus.
Oh man!
Oh my God.
Squid, robot squid too would be pretty good.
That would be terrifying.
Definitely.
Holy crap.
But I would back to pterodactyls. Imagine though if it does like How to Train Your Dragon style, where you can like capture robotic pterodactyls and train them and ride them in the
Well,
game.
you can do that with any of them then.
I know. I want pterodactyls though. I want to
Slow-
ride
slow
pterodactyls.
down.
Oh, dude, they're robotic. They have, like,
Right.
mainframes and stuff.
Mainframes and stuff. Yeah,
Right.
so you can hack them. Exactly. Don't even have to train them. You hack the robotic dinosaurs.
Just make it think it's a cat. I mean,
There's so much
like-
potential for this game. Go ahead. What are you gonna say?
I think one of the creepiest animals are those things you see deep in the ocean that have like the lights that come out of their head.
Oh yeah, what are those called?
Oh, that thing from Nemo.
From Finding. There it is.
Yeah.
Now,
Anglerfish.
now here's the thing:
Angler.
are we when we're
Anglerfish.
talking about robotic animals? Are we talking about
And their
like
teeth
one,
are like-
or are we talking about how they're found in the wild?
They suck you up.
How they're found in the wild, I guess.
Okay, so in that case, rats.
Rats? Little
Think
tiny
about it.
rats?
Think about
Angry
little
rats.
tiny, angry rats.
And so it's like everything in this world is robotic for no reason.
Robotic and angry.
Just all the animals in this world are robotic.
But think about how many rats there are in the world.
There's a lot of rats.
That would be the worst.
Yeah, dude,
They would
just
just
think
come
of
out
New
in
York alone.
swarms and devour
In New York
everything.
alone, exactly there.
Them and locusts,
If you
like
want to talk
things
about
like
animals
group up.
in quantity, think about beetles.
Yeah,
Ants.
locusts.
Beetles.
Oh, ants, bees.
Oh.
Ooh, oh, hive
I want
minds.
bees.
Ants scare me
Oh my
because
God.
ever since like Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull, where they have those big ant, hills, and they all come out.
Oh my
and
God, it's the
Wait,
worst
those
power
are,
people.
wait, weren't those dunghills?
They were dunghills. All I know is there was like ants or something.
No, they were regular anthills. They were regular anthills.
But that's the truth. Like I hear in like Africa, there's like certain like swarms of ants that will
Yeah.
cover a lion, and by the time they get over the lion, it's gone.
It's gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen the the time captures of it.
Yeah,
It's creepy.
it's terrifying. So imagine little tiny ants. There's no
Right.
way to defend against them. You can't shoot them. They're too
No,
small.
kind of like the people in the Mummy.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god, that's
All right, we're going nuts. But this was a really good question. That's why. Derek, you always
has the
You know,
best questions in
Another week, another question.
Okay.
Always how it rolls. But also, before I go, I have to say thank you for including me in a lot of things you guys do.
Oh,
Awesome.
no problem.
Doing these
We
calls
love
week
Derek.
after week.
Yeah, no problem, man. I played with Derek. You played with Derek.
I play with Derek like all the time too.
Yeah. And we
Derek
also
was my
put
number one
many of Derek's
person.
calls up on our replays because
As long
they're
as
great
he's
calls.
Consenting, that's fine.
As long as it's consenting. Are you a consenting party?
I am a consenting party, and I will gladly consent to a standalone if you need it.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, Derek. You always have the best questions, man.
I love your
I
couch.
try.
All right, see you
There.
later.
Skype and call.
Microsoft,
Doesn't
Xbox,
work.
and call. Not Skype, right?
He's so funny.
He is funny.
He's an entertaining guy.
He's a good guy. All right, thank you so much, Derek, for another awesome call. Guys, that is Derek, the 9 Fox. Look for him. He also streams a little bit here and there, I think. So keep an eye out for the 9 Fox. He's a good guy. And he helped me out a lot in Destiny because I was terrible. I was level 2 and he was level 27, I think, and he totally carried me for the whole time. But
Oh, Derek, couch Derek.
couch there. Alrighty, let's move on to our next level updates.
I like that we describe things or like people depending on the situation that we get introduced to them by. Like we got
Right.
Diarrhea Jason, and now we have Couch Eric.
Couch Eric.
Couch Derek.
Wait, how do you ban someone again? I always forget.
/ban space the username. Guys, what we have on the screen right now is the Final Fantasy 15 trailer. I just talked about how the demo is going to be included with every copy of Final Fantasy Type 0 HD. The episode is going to be called Episode Duske, and it deals with the land of Final Fantasy 15 that you will be in. This is not that land from what I
Batman's
hear.
back.
Batman's back. Welcome back, Batman. He also played with me.
Yes.
But what's really cool about Final Fantasy 15 is that it's kind of like a road trip, a buddy bro trip, if you want to call it that. But the gameplay itself, like right here, what we're seeing are many enemies from old school Final Fantasies, like Garrulus from Final Fantasy 4, I think it was. And then at some point, you even see old school Final Fantasy 1 goblins in the cave, which is that is just amazing to
I'm
see.
really confused. Stick Brightling, I mean, I feel like he's trolling a little bit.
Okay.
I don't think he likes very many things.
Okay.
I'm not insulting you, but I don't think you like a lot. He doesn't like Destiny, he doesn't like, but he's like, please tell me you're not going to play that crappy Final Fantasy 15 trailer.
Oh, I think he just doesn't like Final Fantasy 15.
No, wait, can I
Okay.
read some of this? It says, Stick, do you even like games? You seem to hate everything. Stick, do you hate everything?
Stick,
Hey, wait, it's Stick Brightling. Is this Anthony,
this
Drew's
is
brother?
going to be okay. It's going to be okay, man.
Is this Drew's brother?
Calm down.
You'll get through it.
Take a Xanax.
On the screen right now, guys, these are the goblins, and those are like directly taken from the artwork of Final Fantasy 1 right there. Really cool that Nomura has taken that. But that's the thing is, Nomura, Tetsuya Nomura, we all know him from Kingdom Hearts. He's the director behind that. He directed Advent Children. He was the director on Final Fantasy 15, but we now know he has moved over to Tabata, who worked on Crisis Core and Final Fantasy Type 0 HD. So he is now the director of Final Fantasy 15, and that's because they don't need Nomura anymore.
Right.
The game is far enough along, the
Right.
story is in place, the gameplay is in place.
It's a bunch of just tweaking all the extra little tiny things that they need to fix.
Exactly.
I
This
mean,
is...
that blew me away. I'll tell you right now.
Pause that right there. Look at that.
That is.
Look at it. Beautiful.
I mean, obviously it's gonna be CGI for that part.
That's not CGI. That's real-time graphics. Look. You can see the Jaggies. You can see the different
Right,
in
You
the
can
hair.
see the
You
Jaggies.
see the Jaggies.
The anti-aliens thing.
Oh,
but I
this
do call
sounds
them
like a
Jaggies.
racial
No,
slur.
this
Super.
Does it sound like a racial slur?
This is 100% real time. I don't know if it's a cutscene, probably is, but that you can see anti-aliasing and you can see dithering in the hair. That is obviously not a
No, you're
CGI
right.
cutscene
Okay.
because Square Enix, they use I'm trying to think, Visual Works, and their CGI is much better than what you would see right there. So unbelievably so, that is real time.
I like
My
the
big question though is she a strong, independent female character?
That is the question.
No, she just has big breasts.
And also the question, no, she
It's-
doesn't. She
it's
doesn't.
not.
No, she really doesn't.
No.
It's Japanese, so probably not.
The question is if this is Stella. Because Stella is the female character that we've seen Stella for a really long time in Final Fantasy 15, but in the trailer they keep referencing Luna. And then if you look at her necklace is a moon, which kind of speaks to Luna. But she also has a star within the moon, which speaks to Stella. So is Luna Stella? Are they twins?
Was this a chic Zelda thing going on?
I don't know. But that's the question right now, because this is obviously a redesign, at least if it is Stella, I like the design. I think it's beautiful. We don't get many blondes actually within Final Fantasy. Usually the main female protagonist is brunette, and I like seeing a blonde for once.
Milklands,
Yeah.
kids. Milklands.
Like Brunella, one that you like so much, Brunella.
I really like
Oh,
the move he has
that was
where
up
he
there.
throws his sword.
Yeah, the warping.
Yeah, that's actually really cool.
Let's take this call real quick before moving on. He couldn't get through last week. Hey, Bitcoin, you are live on the Level Up Show.
นี่แม่มีโชคานี่จะคาลูกมาอีจูจูยาปอนี่ใจนี่เจ็บยา
I like
I
that.
have to say,
That was
that
pretty
was
good.
bloody awful.
No, that was.
We
Yeah,
had a
that
lot of
was- that was
additions on here.
funny.
That was actually really-
That's kind of entertaining.
Okay, Simon.
Weird name for that kind of call. Bitcoin Express.
Right?
I'm not sure. That was really weird.
That's something I would do.
Yeah, it is kind of something. Thank you for that
It is
call.
actually
That was a
something.
nice little breather right there.
Yeah.
But moving on, let's continue the trailer.
Moving on.
The music in the trailer, which we'll hear later during our TGS segment, is done by Yoko Shimomura, who did Kingdom Hearts, and I think she might be my new favorite composer. The music is so freaking good, and kind of reminds me of Hayao Miyazaki films, actually, in just like the mystical feel of it, the fantasy feel. You can see here the 3 different characters, your bros, that have their own AI, kind of similar to the characters in Kingdom Hearts. But the open world nature allows you to drive this car all around and stop at hotels. And this, of course, is a nice little. It's been a long time coming.
I love her.
Almost there. It's obviously a little bit of a fourth wall breaking,
Right.
talking to the people that have waited so long for Final Fantasy 15. But
Merc Deadpool goes, that was Wolverine.
that was Wolverine.
Honestly, I don't know how to feel about like the whole road trip thing. It's a
That's what I
different,
was saying.
it's a different take.
Somebody's
and
like-
I'll totally applaud that, but
Final Fantasy 15 Tommy Boy.
I like it because the thing I've missed from Final Fantasy for a long time is the open world feel. The
Right.
feel that you can just veer off and go to a hotel. Because that's, if you look in the trailer, he said like, "Oh man, I'm getting tired. I need a bath. Let's stop at a hotel." I love that. Like that we're gonna like take an off road and look for a hotel and then sleep the night. Like that's the stuff I miss from Final Fantasy that makes it really feel like a journey. Like you're within this world. That's the missing
Right.
features
I mean-
from the new Final Fantasies, and I'm glad that they're gonna put that in here.
Guys, Final Fantasy is probably one of Drew's most beloved franchises.
Easily.
It's easily, yeah, okay.
I'd say it's number 1,
It's-
and
it's
then
number
Metal
one.
Gear is right after that.
Okay, I knew it was like either one of those.
Yeah.
But I mean, yes, he's going to go nuts for it. Everybody in the chat room is like, Drew's ready for a bromance and stuff like that. It's
I'm
like,
ready for
yes,
bromance.
You're right. This looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
This looks to be a kickback to what everybody used to love about Final Fantasy, especially like you said, bringing back some of the old character styles and going back, and changing the gameplay up a little bit.
They've
and
already
making it
said
unique.
that Chocobos are in.
There you go. You're done.
Chocobos are in.
Chocobos are in. You're in.
We got travel with the car, but supposedly they even have airships in this one.
You saw spaceships. Are there actually going to be
Supposedly
airships?
there's going to be airships, and you can actually travel in
Travel
the
one?
open world with an airship.
Now is it
which
going to
would
be
be
a
amazing.
top-down view, or are you going to be able to actually pilot it?
I don't know. We'll find out. Supposedly there's even airship battles in this
I was
one.
going to say if they do battles.
That would be amazing. Airship battles, and most importantly, the prelude, which we'll hear later
Right.
in the trailer. At the very end, they play the Final Fantasy prelude that you always hear in Final Fantasy since the original that they got rid of for some reason in 13. They've brought it back with 15, and I'm so happy about that.
How many hours is this game going to be?
I would say it's going to be at least 20, but typically Final Fantasies are like 40.
Drew, Dex Flow Toys says he wants you in the back of his Jeep. Let's swing it.
Not all. He said for me.
Yeah, brunette.
yeah, that's.
Brunette, right?
Or you.
We got 2 Twitch hearts. Mark, could you acknowledge this real quick?
2 Twitch hearts?
Yeah.
I thought we've gotten more than that.
Okay, acknowledge any new ones that you notice.
Well, it's BMO, on Ryo-san, Jab661, RandX506, and Average Gamer 369.
Those are our 5 new Twitch hearts. Thank you so much, guys.
Warrior White says a toll booth boss would be awesome.
That's the one thing that they're talking about with the demo is there's going to be no final boss, which is very typical for a
Right.
Final Fantasy demo. But they said the bosses in this game are something that they cannot reveal because they're so big and so important and so mind-blowing that they don't want to reveal them. And I have a feeling they're going to be like big set-piece moments. Do you remember last year's trailer with the Leviathan,
Right.
the huge Right. serpent in the sky? I have a feeling that's the kind of stuff they're going to be doing this one for their big boss battles, and it's going to be
That's
awesome.
gonna be nuts.
Yeah.
So basically everything of Ragnarok all into every single boss battle.
Yeah, pretty much.
Essentially.
Yeah.
So I should probably find a hobby while you're playing this game.
Or just continue working night shift so that I can play it while you're not here. But yes. All right, Mark.
Mike, on to another beloved franchise for Drew. Metal Gear Solid 5 has now been given a broad release date of 2015. This is despite the thought that we were hoping for a mid-early release. But during this year's TGS, Hideo Kojima made several presentations on Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain, and during a show of Quiet's abilities, like this right here, which is actually pretty badass. I'm going to stop and let's watch this. Why don't we actually narrate this?
Yeah, she has teleportation abilities.
Wait, which is weird because I didn't know there was that much sci-fi.
There always is this much sci-fi, yeah. But even cooler, I didn't put this in because it's 25 minutes long, but there was a big gameplay scenario where they demonstrated Quiet's abilities in collaboration with Big Boss's gameplay, where they're working together, and she teleports to cliffs and stuff and snipes from over there while you're going through. Very cool.
Why did her eyes change? That was weird.
That has something to do with her abilities. She seems to become smoke, actually.
Almost like basically
Delsin. Yes. She's very much like Delsin from Infamous Second Son. And you can also see that she's not attacking them here. Right. She's not she's just kind of going invisible and then appearing and being like, hey, what's up, guys? And they're kind of ready to shoot her, but then Big Boss comes in at the end here and is like, hey, it's okay. Let's see what this girl's about or something. I don't know, but maybe that leads to her eventually becoming a partner for you guys. That's also...
Sorry,
go ahead.
V Slayer just came in.
V Slater is in here, and he was our first donation this Thursday for our stream tip. Thank you so much, V Slater. That's Revolver Ocelot right there, if you didn't know. The young guy with the bandana thingy around his neck. That is Revolver Ocelot, and over there is Miller, Kazuhiro Miller, also a favorite from the Metal Gear series. And that is a very classic sneaking suit you're seeing right there for Big Boss. Very similar to the Solid Snake sneaking suit that you saw in the original Metal Gear Solid. So a lot of throwbacks in a way in this game. Looks really awesome. And you're also seeing that Big Boss is sporting his horn out of his head, which is shrapnel actually, but it goes with the motif of him becoming a demon in this game.
Okay.
Is that a girl?
Quiet as a girl, yeah. Oh, we're getting a call. We'll pause this for a second.
Just use your keyboard.
I gotta click on that anyway. See if we can get through here. Nope. Trying to get the call back, Josh. We'll see if we can.
Announcements. Public announcements.
Yeah, it does. Josh, you are on the Level Up Show. How you doing?
What's up, guys?
Hey!
How's it been?
We're doing great, man.
Bud. How about you?
That's good. I'm fine. I'm just playing a little Destiny. Haven't played it in a couple days, so I just said, why not?
That's cool. Last time you called in, you were playing Metal Gear. I think it's cool that you're always playing something while calling in.
Right.
Yeah, I tried to. Yeah, I was actually just watching you guys discuss about Metal Gear Solid 5, and I was really intrigued to that. And that leads me to a question for you, Andrew.
Okay.
If that's all right.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Since your second favorite is the Metal Gear Solid series, what do you think is your top favorite out of all the games in the franchise?
Ah, man.
7.
No, that's Final Fantasy.
Oh.
Final Fantasy 7 is my favorite Final Fantasy. For Metal Gear, though, my first Metal Gear was Metal Gear Solid. So obviously that's going to have a special place. And in a way, I really do think that might be the best one. It tells one of the best stories without going too crazy convoluted and ridiculous. I love the ending of that game, the twist. I won't go into it, but
I'm surprised I thought Patriots would have.
Guns of the Patriots was awesome. A lot of people get on Guns of the Patriots for its ending, which is really kind of a Deus Ex Machina moment where everything kind of comes together in a really crazy way. That was kind of Hideo Kojima's fault for Metal Gear Solid 2. He set up so many crazy things in 2 that he couldn't resolve without going into ridiculous territory. So that's why 4's ending is a little ridiculous. I still think it's epic. That ends on such an epic note with the Revolver Ocelot battle and Big Boss coming back. And kind of that closure there. I really do appreciate that. Snake Eater I do like more than Guns of the Patriots for sure. Snake Eater is probably my second favorite behind Metal Gear Solid. So I would have to say it's Metal Gear Solid 1, then Metal Gear Solid 3's Snake Eater.
I would have to agree with you more of that because actually I'm in the same boat as you. I actually played Metal Gear Solid as my first game in the entire series.
Yeah.
And then when I got to Snake Eater, it just actually, when I played it, it kind of like blew me away. Like it was really fascinating with the amount of exploration and maneuverability and the way the story is.
Yeah.
It was just really pretty cool. And then what I thought for Metal Gear Solid 4, that was just an intriguing, long game of a movie or something like that. But it was really entertaining for me.
That's the thing is I have really fond memories of 4 because, like you said, it almost is like playing a movie, and it was so epic. No matter how ridiculous it got, it was just the memories in that game are going to stick with me forever because it does certain moments that are just unforgettable.
And for me, someone who hasn't really played, Metal Gear, never been into the series, never got introduced into it, but you got so excited in 4, and you were like so excited to tell me about the part at the end when you're Raiden.
Where Raiden is fending off all these different enemies, and Snake is going through a microwave oven.
Right, that's what.
That was something. That was a shocker for me.
How long did you say you pressed X for?
My brother in the room with me, and you have to press X repeatedly, probably triangle repeatedly.
It was triangle.
Triangle repeatedly for several minutes, and no matter what you do, you make it through. But the thing is, you don't know that. Like, it's scripted, but when it first happens and you see triangle come up on the screen and then you're supposed to mash it, you just start going nuts, and the music is playing, and you see Raiden, they split the screen in two, so you can see Raiden fending off the enemies, you can see Meryl and Johnny Sasaki fending off enemies, all these different people coming together to try and make the mission a success, and then you got Snake pushing himself through a microwave oven, gradually like dying, and you're just mashing so hard, like, move it, Snake, you can do it, man! And my brother is in the room, and I'm like, I can't, my hand's getting tired, man. My hand's getting tired, you're gonna have to come in here. I can't do it. I can't do it, man. And like my brother comes in, he's like, I can do it. We're gonna get him through this. And it was so emotional. And then I can't even explain it. It was so funny. But
see, that's exactly what I'm talking about. So
that's why Metal Gear Solid 4, even though it gets crazy and convoluted, it definitely was memorable.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for calling in, man.
All right, you're welcome. Have a good night, you guys.
Enjoy Destiny.
All right.
See ya.
See ya.
I can talk about Metal Gear Solid.
I know you could.
But it's true. That moment is so good. All right, back to
the trailer.
Yeah, what were we saying?
But anyway, so during the showing of Quiet's new abilities, Kojima was questioned on the release of the, and he would commit to was 2015.
Yeah.
The rumors have been around, like I said, March, April, May.
Yeah.
That it released around then, but Kojima, to give such a broad release date, would kind of say it's probably not likely it's coming then. It's probably going to be closer to September-ish.
I think so, yeah. I think late is now the assumption, now that they wouldn't give a more, like, they didn't even give a quarter.
It could even be, it could be like a July and August release. Which would, again, it wouldn't be a bad thing for them. It's a very blank, open slate for...
I'll wait as long as I need to for this game. I take your time, make it as perfect as possible. I just was kind of surprised, just because the rumors for so long have been pretty clear that it was coming out in March, and there wasn't even just rumors as far as like insiders. There was like little leaks, like posters or something like that saying March, GameStop saying March, like all different kind of stuff kept saying March, and where there's smoke there's fire typically. So I was kind of surprised that he didn't give a little bit more of a clarification on at least the quarter, but who cares? Take as much time as you need, Kojima. Make it perfect. So that was that story. Kristen, you are up with the final story here.
Alright, 10, 11, 12, 13. The Final Fantasy 13 trilogy is coming to PC.
Yeah, it is.
I'm sorry. Did you like how she just read 13?
No.
She had to count.
She had to count it. She goes, alright, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13.
To be fair, it's a really small...
No, it's small, but it was just really... I liked it. I thought it was really awesome.
It's small, so I had to make sure I was saying it correctly.
Yeah.
Drew, do you notice the face up here?
What is that? Tosh?
Oh, it's David Hasselhoff.
Oh, he looks like Tosh. Doesn't he look like Tosh?
David when he was young, I guess.
Oh, all right, very nice.
David when he may have been on Baywatch.
Maybe. All right, go ahead, Kristen.
For the longest time, Final Fantasy was considered an exclusive series. It started off for many years as a Nintendo franchise before becoming PlayStation exclusive with Final Fantasy VII. I'm really bad at Roman numerals. Although spin-offs released on other platforms, it wasn't until Final Fantasy XIII that the series truly went multi-platform by releasing the game on Xbox 360 as well. Square Enix seems to be taking that even a step further now by possibly releasing the full trilogy on Steam. The rumor started with a new portal page open for the Final Fantasy XIII trilogy that now shows the logos for PS3, Xbox 360, and also Steam. A few days later, the official announcement was made. Final Fantasy 13 will be coming to Steam on October 9th for a price of $16. The rest of the trilogy will also be on Steam by spring of 2015.
Yeah, there was. Now that I think about it, there were a few. I remember Eidos actually was the one who published them. You remember Final Fantasy 7 and 8 came to PC by Eidos, and they did some weird stuff with it. Like it wasn't quite the same game in ways. Like they changed the soundtrack and they did some stuff with like the pre-rendered backgrounds and stuff and changed it. It wasn't as good. It wasn't the same game, but technically it did come to PC back then, and then they never did it again. So guys, 13 trilogy isn't bad.
Dr. Roxo said Final Fantasy 13 cured me of my Final Fantasy addiction.
Yeah. It's not. 13, the original 13 is pretty good. 13-2 is even pretty good. I don't hear very good things about Lightning Returns, and I actually even skipped it. It's one of the first Final Fantasies I did skip.
Wait, they did something after 13-2?
They did Lightning Returns, Final Fantasy 13,
God,
yeah.
What are you doing?
To round off the trilogy. That supposedly is the end of it all.
Why did they need to make it a trilogy?
I have no idea. Because I think they wanted to get as much money out of the engine and all that stuff as they could, because 14 was such a disaster at the beginning, and they put so much money into releasing 2.0, A Realm Reborn. They delayed Final Fantasy Versus 13, made it 15. 13 was their way of making some money back once 14 messed everything up. So I think they just wanted to use the engine in place, the gameplay in place, and just suck as much money out of that series as possible. And for better and for worse, I think it kind of damaged the franchise in a way and damaged how people feel about it. But I think it was kind of what helped them to move forward as well and not fall into debt. So 13's not bad, 13-2's not bad. So if you guys haven't played them yet, check out Steam in October for 13.
What are we up to? How many people?
I'm not sure.
Are we pterodactyl yet?
I'm not. I don't think pterodactyl.
Nope, we're down at 203.
203. Guys, if we get to
300.
300, yeah, 300, and I will do Pterodactyl Andrew and also Flash you guys at the same time. All right, that was the end of our third level update, guys. Skype is live. Please call in at the Level Up Show, spelled exactly how it sounds. No spaces. Mark will continuously post it in the chat room for you guys to call in. We can talk about any of the stories we've discussed. We can also talk about what you guys have been playing, for instance.
V Slater had a question. He wanted to know your opinion on the price for the Final Fantasy 13 ports. Because it's $15.99. Do you think
$16.
Do you think it's good, bad?
I think for 3 games, that's a fair price.
No, that's for one game.
Oh, it's for
$16 for 13, yeah.
Oh, fuck that, man. No.
Yeah, I don't think it's... I don't think it's
13.
great. I think $10 would probably be the right area.
Why
Just
is
remember,
16 too?
it's $16, but then you have how many times are there sales on Steam?
Yeah.
So when is it coming out?
Right.
Comes out October 9th.
So you're gonna have the holiday bundle a month after that. You could easily pick that game up for like $5.
If you were to look on Amazon right now, I have a feeling Final Fantasy 13 will cost you around $10, maybe a little bit more than that.
Yeah.
So it's not absolutely terrible, but I think $10 would be the sweet spot if they could do that. But it sounds like they're not going to. And then 13.2 and Lightning Returns will probably be even more since they're newer than 13 is. So not the best, I will say, V Slater. Also, Ventera's in the room. Joey, welcome, man. He said he was stopping by to say hello.
Yeah.
Joey, where's he at?
He's in there. He's
No,
in
but
the
where's
room.
he been?
Where's he been? He's probably playing games.
Oh,
Playing.
Joey.
Now that he's single, that's all he does.
Have you?
Blonde
Well,
Joey.
we have been getting some questions now and then about Bloodborne.
Bloodborne, we have a new trailer from Tokyo Game Show, which we will cover a little later on, and some news from that trailer. Maybe, did you hear about this? That there's going to be kind of a co-op mode in this one, and you're going to have different classes even? Yeah, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I'm liking it.
You like it? I think it's pretty cool because you can actually change what your character looks like, it seems even. Pretty cool in a way. You remember like the very first leaked...
What do you mean, like as the game is progressing?
Either the classes look different, or it's either the class looks different, or you can actually change the way your character looks.
Okay, because Dark Souls and Demon Souls had character customization.
Okay.
So you could, but at the very start of the game, like you show up, and I think they kind of did it in a cool way. Dark Souls 2 definitely, like the game starts, you fall in like to this world or this realm, you travel to a place, and then you like meet this old lady, and it's like, oh well, what's your name? And then you put in your character's name, and then from there you can decide what you look like, because the whole thing is like people don't remember things that are afflicted with the curse. But yeah, it's really cool. I was seeing some of the one of the guys that did a whole bunch of videos for Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Epic Name Bro on YouTube. If you guys wanted
Epic
to check-
Name Bro?
Yeah.
Name.
If you wanted to check him out, I followed him since he the first Dark Souls was only like a Japanese release, and then he was streaming Japanese gameplay. So yeah, he was actually at TGS. and checking out some of the stuff. So that was really cool to see.
The new trailer is great. I can't wait to show it off during our Tokyo Game Show segment. We're not getting a call, so I think we'll move on to our final segment on Level Update.
Sounds good.
All right, more Final Fantasy news, guys. The legends from Final Fantasy, so meaning great creators from the past, they are collaborating together for a game called Zodiac on the PlayStation Vita, actually. Great news for the Vita. Now, these longtime legends of the Final Fantasy series, their names are, well, let me change the page here. Hitoshi Sakimoto, who is the longtime composer responsible for game soundtracks ranging from Tactics Ogre to Final Fantasy Tactics series to Final Fantasy XII and even Dragon's Crown. He's responsible for the Ivalice, I think is what it's called, world, essentially, in the Final Fantasy series. And his music is good, very good music. But even better than that, in my opinion, is you got Kazushige Nojima, who is responsible for writing Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy VIII, Final Fantasy X, Kingdom Hearts 2, and many other games. He is writing this game, so that's especially great news there. They're working together with a small UK-based team called Kaboho, I think you saw it at the beginning of the trailer, to create this Japanese RPG. Zodiac is an online multiplayer experience, but thankfully it does not need to be played that way, and you can actually play the whole entire thing from start to finish in single-player mode. Graphically, it looks a little bit something UbiArt would be responsible for. It kind of looks like Child of Light, you can see there. And it is turn-based, which makes it even more similar to Child of Light. And right now the game is slated to come out next year for the Vita and the iOS, but it is developed using Unity, which obviously is very easy to port over to other platforms. So you might be seeing this on all systems at some point. But really great news is that Vita gets it first. Vita needs Japanese RPGs badly.
Yes.
It helps it out a lot in
We were
Japan and
surprised
America.
that there wasn't actually more
Yeah.
TGS.
Yeah. Joe is calling in?
Joe?
No, not Joey, Joe Miller.
Oh.
Hey, Joe Miller, you are live on the Level Up Show.
Hey, what's up, guys?
This is Joe,
I heard you
is
guys-
the brother we don't want to talk to, right?
I'm sorry, what?
We don't want to talk to your brother, I think, if I remember right.
Yeah, don't worry, don't worry.
All right, just making sure.
He's not here. He's in New York City. Yeah, don't worry.
Great news.
Greg?
Great news.
That's just a front.
It's a ploy.
But Joe, what do you want to talk about, man?
I want to talk about like some like good Japanese horror games, and I know what everyone's thinking. Everyone's thinking I'm probably gonna say Silent Hill.
Yeah.
But
Fatal
like,
Frame.
but like, what I'm really thinking about is like, I don't know if anyone remembers this. Anyone watching? If you guys remember this, I'm probably gonna give you a blast for the past. But Fatal Frame. Do you guys remember that game?
Yes,
yeah.
Mark called it. He was the one who called it, and he knew you were going to say Fatal Frame. And yeah, we do remember Fatal Frame. I haven't played it since I think the original one, if I remember right.
So
I kind of fell off that series, but I know that it's good. Another one is Siren. That's another Japanese horror game that people don't kind of talk about too often. There's a few others
Yeah.
too. But Fatal Frame especially, is that like your favorite?
You know what? My favorite out of the series, I would have to say, is Crimson Butterfly, because actually, believe it or not, I'm playing the game right now as I'm talking to you, and like Crimson Butterfly was like my favorite. This one time, me and my brother Nick, my brother Nick, that you guys all know, when we were actually kids, what we did was we had this like little box, this like huge like cardboard box, like Metal Gear style, to play in. We used to like turn it sideways.
Again? It sucks every time we call.
Joe, has a bad connection typically.
Yeah.
I think we lost you, Joe. Blah,
Oh,
blah.
that stinks.
Thanks for calling in, Joe. Well, we're trying to get the call back, it says. We'll see if it goes through. But what do we got? We got somebody just left. Who was it? Warrior.
It was Warrior.
Warrior. See you, Warrior. Thank you so much for stopping in, man. I don't think we're going to get back Joe here.
No.
But
So
thank
I
you so much for
totally
calling in,
think-
Joe.
Fatal Frame would be a really cool series for them to bring back, and I think definitely with this current generation, just there seems to be a renewed interest in horror.
Yeah.
Haven't they been doing that though with the DS?
With DS having like horror games? They had the Ghost one.
Did they have a? No, it was a. Was that Fatal Frame? No, it wasn't.
Oh, Fatal Frame I don't think has ever been on DS. I don't think. I could be wrong there. I thought Fatal Frame was more of like a console franchise, but I could be wrong on that one. If you want to look it up, go for it. But you also have the next story if you want to cover that.
This is something I actually tried to put it in the room when you were doing your show on Thursday.
Okay.
But PlayStation will start streaming TV by the end of 2014. According to Wall Street Journal, in an interview with Andrew House, Sony has signed a deal with Viacom to bring the streaming over 20 channels to PS4, including MTV and Nickelodeon. Sony is currently in the process of speaking with other potential content partners, as well as bringing even more before the service actually hits. In another story from the Wall Street Journal, they interviewed Shuei Yoshida on Project Morpheus, and Yoshida claims that it's 85%. That 85% of the work necessary to make it available has been complete, but he also says that since many of the components are taken from smartphones, it'll help to keep the overall cost down, which is what, again, everybody's hoping. It's the biggest thing. What's the price point going to be? Is it going to be over 200? Is it going to be over 250? Is it going to be 150 like you're hoping for? So we'll see.
Goddamn Batman said in the chat room, R.I.P. Joe, who died of dysentery. That's what Batman said. Always good Batman. Okay, moving on. Kristen, you are up with the blue story. The blue story.
Why is there no room for Bogey on the couch?
Because Mike's got his laptop there.
Yeah, Mike.
Yeah.
Mike.
Deal with it.
God.
Go ahead.
Square Enix jumping in on cloud gaming as well. Can I yawn real quick?
Yes, you can.
Alright. First we had OnLive and Gaikai. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah. Nice job. That was good.
What was that?
She's cracking herself up.
Then Sony jumped in with their acquisition of Gaikai and creation of PlayStation Now. Rumors are also circulating that Microsoft is currently working hard on their own version of cloud gaming. Square Enix revealed that they want a piece of the pie, as well with the creation of Shinra Technologies Incorporated, a name obviously inspired by the Mako Corporation in Final Fantasy VI.
Mako Corporation.
Mako in Final Fantasy VII. Note Roman numerals. Shinra Technologies is headed by former Square Enix CEO Yuichi Wada.
That's good. You got that one right.
The idea essentially is that instead of utilizing the power of one PC, cloud games can utilize the GPU and CPU of multiple machines, allowing for visuals and gameplay concepts that can never be achieved otherwise. The result would then be streamed to the PC. Square Enix is supposedly in talks with developers like Ubisoft to create games for the service.
Yeah.
Can you not make myself in blue? I can't read it as well.
You have trouble reading blue? I can make it like a darker blue. Alright, if that's what you want, sure. Yeah, that's a little surprising. Square Enix to kind of jump in on this.
But again, when you think about the type of games that they're making, and how long it's taking for them to come out, it could actually save them a good amount of money.
Yeah, it's just like they're typically developers, so this is a service.
Right.
This is a service, so just a little surprising, especially Yoichi Wada to be working on it. He's the former CEO. He kind of got pushed out, and rightfully so. I never liked Wada and what he was doing with the 13 series and all that kind of stuff.
He was like hardcore on Lightning.
He
Lightning was like the greatest gift to gaming community.
Yeah, so I'm glad that he's out, and it seems to be working for the better now, but this is his venture since then, is working on this Shinra Technologies, which is also
actually really awesome, though.
Why would you choose an evil corporation as the name for your service?
I think it's because it's a pun. Like, no one else that's gonna see it is gonna know.
Yeah.
But like people like you and I and people in the chat.
Yeah, I mean, what's the worst that could happen? It's not like some military company suddenly taking up the name of Cobra.
Yeah.
Like,
but I was actually partially right. It was a spin-off. It was called Spirit Camera.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I knew there was something. I was
Fatal
like,
Frame?
A Fatal Frame.
Okay, gotcha. Guys, we're up to 15 friend requests tonight. Thank you to Angel Ripper, Dominican, XePie, Gears Ninja, Heavy Rygar, Jab661, JDude99, Jeremy Kyle, Jimbio, Lucky Man, Rich Cross, I think, Ragnarok, Ryan W, Shred420, and Shimar Joe96. Thank you so much for the friend request. Guys, anybody that has not requested us yet, I am Drew M1788 and Mike is Noob Guru. Please request us and we will add you right after the show. Also, Kristen is hidden now.
She looks like the girl from The Ring.
We got a lot of people in the room.
God, don't say that. People are watching us on TV. Don't say that. That's terrible.
If you are, if you are new to the show, guys, you can follow us on Twitch
while you're walking up
at twitch.tv The Level Up Show. Heart us and you'll get email notifications whenever we go live. Oh my god.
Why'd you do this? Look what you've done. I hope you're happy,
Oh
wife.
my god, it's so freaky.
Oh my god. At least I'm still. Nope. I'm gone. I'm gone too. Okay.
I have no idea what just happened. Alright. A beautiful performance by Kristen. Congratulations. Academy Award worthy.
So great.
As I was saying, guys, if you like what you're saying, if you like that for some reason, please go on twitch.tv/The Level Up Show and heart us. That way you get notifications whenever we go live, which is every Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. We are a gaming dedicated talk show. I'm Andrew, this is my co-host Mike, and we also have Mark and Kristen in the chat rooms with you guys all night. Also, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook. Please go on YouTube.com/The Level Up Show, level spelled LVL, and make sure you subscribe to our YouTube because we archive all of our long episodes. We break it down into little mini segments, all that kind of stuff. If you like the show enough to donate, if you want to help us improve it even further, you can go on streamtip.com/T/The Level Up Show and donate a minimum of $1. Even that we would appreciate greatly. Thank you so much, guys, for coming in.
Philly Reese said, waits for baby's giggle.
Yeah. You gotta yell into the mirror. You gotta get her attention. Hi, Lisa.
You're tearing me apart.
Whoever came up with that was the best troll on the internet.
Yeah.
He got the entire gaming community.
Oh.
Sorry, Kristen wants to say something.
So I think it'd be really funny but terribly mean to do that to Andrew in the middle of the night.
Oh my
Oh.
god.
Just stand next to his bed with my hair like that.
No, what you need to do is stand next to his bed with your hair
Don't
like that
do
for
that.
like a long time, record it, and then just wait till he wakes up and just be like, "Ah!" Just like or something like that, like right in his face.
You scare my dog.
That's so funny. He's like, no, don't do that.
He's like, I'm gonna bite you if you attack someone.
Quick thank yous, a few thank yous here. Thank you to Jamal Williams, Jose Bernal, Dev the Legend, and The Gaming Shark 1. Thank you guys so much for subscribing to us on YouTube. Do we have any new Twitch hearts?
I will check. No, we do not.
Okay. Guys, you can heart us on Twitch. We'll get notified and we will shout you out. But finally, our last story in the segment. Oculus has revealed their newest prototype. It is called Crescent Bay, and it was revealed during the Oculus Connect conference. They now do conferences.
Look at those 1991 headphones.
Yeah, right there.
This is some good quality
Oh,
units right
man.
there.
They're now owned by Facebook, so they have to do conferences. But yeah, as you can see, it has headphones. They are incorporated now. But with this newest prototype, there is full 360-degree tracking, higher resolution, integrated audio, as we were talking about, a more comfortable strap and fit, and finally, a better frame rate. The consistent improvements on Oculus Rift are bringing it closer and closer to the final consumer version of the product, which will release, I think, at some point next year. That's the assumption. At the conference, Oculus also announced that they would be partnering with Unity. Unity has one of the most active developer communities building for the Rift, and today we're thrilled to announce that we partnered with Unity to make Oculus an official platform and build target. This means that Unity will now fully support Oculus and the Rift with a dedicated add-on that includes stereo imaging optimizations, 3D audio support, and other features specifically for virtual reality. Best of all, Oculus will now be supported in both the free and pro versions of Unity. So great news there for potential Oculus supporters and owners in the future.
Yeah, I'm pretty psyched for this. I don't
Yeah.
know if I'm gonna.
It's all about that price point.
Both or one or what, but.
Thank you for the Twitch heart. Who was that, Mark?
We know your name. Papa Wheelie 11.
We know where you live.
Papa Wheelie, thank you for the Twitch heart. Really appreciate that, man.
I'm coming for you.
Moving on to our topic.
Crawl through your TV.
Moving on to topic of the week. We're gonna call
If
this.
you don't follow us on Twitch, she'll crawl through your TV.
We're gonna call this a caller segment, just because we're gonna keep the lines
Yeah.
open the entire time. Guys, feel free to call in
We're
because
just gonna run the video, I guess,
Yes.
the whole way through. Yeah.
it's gonna be a whole bunch of Tokyo Game Show trailers. We're gonna be discussing them. But if you guys want to call in, feel free to interrupt us. The Skype ID is the Level Up Show, spelled exactly how it sounds, no spaces. So let's move on to our first trailer. We were talking about this earlier. I'm going to let the music play a little bit for a little while at least. This is Bloodborne, the new Tokyo Game Show trailer. Have you seen this yet, Mark?
Yes, I have. Oh, From Software. You do me so good.
You do me so good.
They got an award at Tokyo Game Show.
Thank you for the Twitch heart. Did they? For what?
They got the Future Award apparently. So like most expected or like most highly anticipated game.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty good for From.
We
They
do
are
see
like
some new gameplay mechanics in place in here. We talked about it a little bit earlier. So right off the bat, you got the normal stuff that we've seen, but the graphics look better. It really does look like they're improving the environment, the
that right
monster
there.
designs. Yeah,
Because that
looks
the
really
other
great.
one was more of like a video thing, but like that you can see like.
And the guy that you're seeing at the beginning here, that seems to be the traditional design for the character that you start with. But you can see you had a hammer there, an axe. There's another design there. See, that looks a little bit different. Dual wielding kind of there. There's another big kind of axe like the and there's your first look at what seems to be co-op mode
Oh, I'm so psyched for this
in
now.
Bloodborne. Well, I'm working together. Shotgun, axe,
Murder everything.
and a terrifying final design right there to that monster where the hair is like the head split open. Really scary. Comes out on February 6th, guys. The hunt begins.
Yeah.
So get your pre-orders in for Bloodborne. It
Yeah,
looks really
there's-
awesome.
There's, I guess, it looks like this is probably going to follow very similar to maybe some of the RPG elements that Dark Souls, the Souls series has. So you do get a lot of different armor to wear.
Yeah.
And so there is, but they will focus around one player in particular.
And what we're seeing now is Deep Down, and we're getting a closer look.
I think this is the one I was really actually getting excited for.
This is free to play.
Yeah.
This is free to play, and it has like a little bit of an Assassin's Creed thing going on because it's almost like an Animus, where you're going into a high fantasy world as opposed to the past. So at the very end, the guy calls it almost like a virtual theme park. But we do see some updated graphics here, some updated enemy designs. There's AD 2094. This is the setting of the the future where the Animus is, if you want to call it that. Obviously, it's not the Animus. This is done by Capcom, not Ubisoft.
Good luck.
There you go, jumped in. You got what looks like ogres there. A little bit Dark Souls looking. Do you agree here, Mark? It has some Dark Souls vibes, this Deep Down game.
I think it's more similar to, very pretty loosely. It's a lot brighter though, like a lot more animated.
Yeah, not as
I
gothic.
think- What's the there was another game that got a lot of comparisons to Dark Souls that came out like last year.
Oh, I know what you're talking about, and I think it was Japanese, right?
Yeah.
I just can't think of the name of it. I know what
It
you're
was,
talking
it's
about.
from
now.
Capcom?
I don't think it was from Capcom. I could be wrong there, though. But yeah, there's been some clones, I guess you could say, ever since Dark and Demon Souls came out to try and capture that excitement. This is the next one. I think it's definitely going a little bit for that vibe. Dragon figure looks unbelievable. It always has since the very beginning. The dragon has looked great.
Dragon's Dogma.
Dragon's Dogma. Yep, that's it. So that's Deep Down.
What is this? Some kind of virtual theme park?
There you go. Virtual theme park. Comes out, I'm not sure if they give it a release date on this one. I don't think so. But it's been announced since the very first reveal for
the PS4 back in what, February?
February, exactly. So, long time coming, and as I said, free to play. So I'm kind of surprised they haven't at least gotten like an early version of it out there yet. Now we're on to Drive Club. Surprising that they released a new trailer during Tokyo Game Show, since it obviously isn't a very Japanese-focused game. But this does not do the game justice at all. Guys, you have got to go on YouTube and look up the 12-minute gameplay video of Drive Club to see the new weather and daytime, nighttime effects that they have in place. Snow, rain. It's unbelievable. It's mind-blowing how amazing this game looks from a graphical perspective. The amount of detail that they're throwing into the environment is just kind of outmatched, really. I've never seen anything like it. This is just giving examples of how the club functionality works in a more cinematic setting. How drifts kind of start out of nowhere and everyone's kind of competing over drifts and they happen on the fly dynamically.
Right.
Auto speed right there. Or average speed, I should say, sorry. And that's like, they also do like, not drifting, but tailing. Where what's it called? Where you tailing somebody and you're inside their drafting. Yeah. So you have that sometimes too showing up. Tailgating, yeah.
Tailgating if you have a regular car.
This comes out next month too, guys. October. Not too far away. Drive Club is right around the corner. Can you sit with me? It's got the full family over here now.
I'm good.
Got the few family.
I'm good to say.
I'm excited to get that. I'm not really big on racing games, but playing with other people I think is really gonna maybe open that up a little bit more.
We already played this earlier, so let's let both. Now you can hear the audio a little bit, but this is Type 0 HD. Look at it there, you can really see the upgrade.
Really crazy how different the graphics are.
That's because this was a PSP game. It wasn't even a Vita game. This was a PSP game back from 2011. So for them to really go all out and turn this into a next-gen Xbox One PS4 game is pretty mind-blowing. I'm being taken care of right now.
No idea what's going on over there.
Trying to make it fall asleep.
Let's cue PC here, guys.
Has anybody seen Battleborn? I've seen the original artwork, the original Game Informer reveal for Battleborn. With
Oh, no, I did see the trailer. I saw the trailer.
With the kind of a little bit Borderlands vibe, I guess you could say. It has classes, it has the cartoony kind of graphic style.
And it did remind me a lot. It was kind of, to me, it reminded me like Borderlands meets Dota.
Yeah, I guess I could see that a little bit.
It was interesting. So I'm not jumping on it.
No, I'm not
it was
either.
Interesting.
I need to see more of it. I know there was a new trailer released. I did not throw it in here with the Tokyo Game Show stuff, but there has been some new stuff shown up for Battleborn. It's just not the kind of game I really look forward to unless a lot of people are talking about it, then I might check it out. Next gen portable game port, get hyped. Yeah, you know, they're putting a lot of work into it though. You can see that they definitely aren't just. I mean, it looks almost next gen. They're taking some of the lighting effects from 15 and they're throwing them in there. They've learned a lot from that because this was originally developed by Tabata, the guy who is now working on 15 in the place of Tetsuya Nomura. Got Ifrit at the end there as the final summon that you can control in Final Fantasy a Type 0 HD.
I don't know what this next one is though.
It's very short and almost not even worth talking about, but since it's 30 seconds, I don't mind throwing it in there.
Right,
but it's called Final Fantasy Agito Plus. And I threw it in there because it's also coming to the Vita. And Agito was what Type 0 was originally called, and then they changed it to Type 0, and then years later, Final Fantasy Agito came out for mobile phones. And now they're recreating it again for the Vita. So I wanted to throw it in just because more Vita love is always good, and I'm happy to see that they're at least porting it over to the Vita. So that's Final Fantasy Agito Plus, and it's not quite on the level of like a Type 0. It is based off a mobile game, and I'm sure it's not going to be like a full-priced game either. It's going to be something like a $30 or even $20 game, I would imagine. After that, we have. I'm going to turn this one up now that we can.
You're all good.
It's Final Fantasy 15, guys. We got Journey over here.
Right. I hate his scream at the beginning.
Oh, it's very Japanese.
I hate it so much. So I'm guessing this is like shortly after the original trailer we saw.
It's after the crystal was stolen. Is the idea. The kingdom that Noctis is from, he's the prince of a kingdom. It's attacked at the very beginning of the game by an opposing kingdom, and the crystal, which is like the power of almost like magic in a way, I guess you could say, in these worlds. It's very important to the Final Fantasy lore and all of the Final Fantasies. But they're the only kingdom, I think, that has a crystal still. So when it's stolen, he goes on a road trip with his buddies to
what
get
I'm
the crystal
saying
back.
is, like, after the last scene that we saw in the original billing, that when it was, remember when they changed it to 15?
Yes, exactly, where Leviathan was attacking, and
so
it
that's what I'm
seemed
pretty
like...
sure that this is, like, very shortly after that happens.
Let me turn up the music here, because I love the music by Yoko Shimomura. Here's the prelude, guys, that I'm talking about.
I'd gotten Final Fantasy IV, I think it was, on my DS a long time ago. And, like,
Yeah.
so hearing that in there, I was like,
Yeah.
oh, because I love playing that game.
Yeah, I mean, kind of like, you know, how in Kingdom Hearts you have Dearly Beloved, which is very much the prelude for Kingdom Hearts, and it's important to that series. Like, if it wasn't in the game, yeah, exactly. If it wasn't in the game, it wouldn't be Kingdom Hearts, and that's why, for me, when it was missing from Final Fantasy in 13, I was like, this isn't even Final Fantasy anymore. You got rid of the prelude, you got rid of the battle fanfare.
It's Lightning Fantasy.
Yeah, it just didn't make sense.
Lightning's the only thing that matters in Final Fantasy anymore.
And now, even better, after the trailer released, a day later, we got a tech demo of Final Fantasy 15.
Nuts.
Nuts, yeah, showing off the gameplay, real-time graphics here with weather effects and stuff like that. So
That's
even
pretty.
wait until you see when he's actually battling. You can actually see the gameplay.
Fast-forward a little bit to that.
Yeah, I think they go through a little bit of the different characters at the beginning here first. Got, I think his name is Prompto. He got a frog for some reason. Just showing how he switched to no rain there.
Oh, okay.
Prompto again. That's Ignis, I'm pretty sure. And now, you can see there are certain points that are highlighted. Those are teleportation points, warping points that you can throw your sword to. If you throw your sword to something, that's where you can teleport to. The sword is your teleportation device. And it works in the game as like a gameplay mechanic, where you can actually target an enemy, and that could also be your source of teleportation, where you actually throw the sword into the person, then you teleport to him, pull the sword out of him, and attack him from there. So it's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. And you see that a few times in this gameplay scenario here. Now, this is not based off of the demo. This is not Episode Duscae. This is in an area that is not located in Duscae. So this is just kind of like an arena that I think they set up to show off the gameplay. And this is from the very first trailer that we ever saw for Final Fantasy Versus 13. This is the steps that he walks down, and they're shooting the bullets at him. This is that area.
That actually looked like a better transition when he teleported than in Infamous.
Yeah, it's very cool.
It blends very well. There was not a lot of hiccup or anything like that.
Now, here you go again. He very quickly teleports to the other like light pole there, and they're about to start throwing in enemies now. You can see the really cool lighting effects there with the tile on the floor. Let me fast forward a little bit, get to where they start bringing in some enemies. So there you go. They brought in a Behemoth, which is a classic, once again, Final Fantasy villain, one of the big ones. And you can see there's goblins too. You got the goblins in there. He's kind of dodging them. He kind of just showing. I think they're showing off the animations and how he kind of moves around them. Health effects too. How when he swings the sword, his coat reacts realistically.
What's cool is if you look, I mean, like you were saying before, they brought back the original animations.
Yeah.
You know, and everything. And if you look at the goblins, I mean, that just screams Final Fantasy.
Also did fire there. And that supposedly is holding down L2. You target an enemy, and then when you release L2, it releases the fire on that enemy. Now, what a lot of people are talking about is how the attacks work. And supposedly it's not quite like Kingdom Hearts where you're mashing the button. You can click individually for each attack, but you can also hold down circle to just continuously attack, and then you can tap R1 to switch stances and weapons on the fly to create combos while also warping. So it becomes this big string of combos where you're holding down circle, continuously attacking, warping, switching weapons, switching stances all on the fly. And on top of that, you could also hold down, I think, square for defense, for dodging, all that kind of stuff, or tap square as well for quick blocks and parries. So the people that have played it, there are a few people on NeoGAF that are claiming to have played it. They're saying that it works great. It's not Kingdom Hearts. It's more Final Fantasy, actually, than Kingdom Hearts. And that's surprising people. People thought it was going to be very Kingdom Hearts-esque. But once it went from Versus 13 to 15, that is a Behemoth.
No, and it looks like one, too.
Yeah. But once they switched it from Versus 13 to 15, I guess they felt like they needed to start bringing back the Final Fantasy core mechanics a little bit. So they switched away from the Kingdom Hearts full like gameplay scenario and started incorporating some of that Final Fantasy stuff again. That was really cool there that they actually had like a really cool death animation for fire at the end there to kill off the Behemoth. So that was Final Fantasy 15's gameplay tech demo that we saw there, showing that they're pretty far along with it, and they have a whole gameplay mechanic in place, and it's 70 to 80% of the way there towards the demo, supposedly, which will come out in March.
Cool.
We'll just talk over this here. Or at least look at the chat room while this one plays, because this is Metal Gear Solid 5 again.
Yeah, we talked about this a little bit. I think we're going to skip.
Hey, Chalk Car, welcome to the room, man. Guys, just so you know, once again, the Skype is open. You guys are welcome to interrupt us. We're just playing trailers and talking about Tokyo Game Show right now. Our Level Up Show ID on Skype is the Level Up Show. Spelled exactly how it sounds. No spaces. Feel free to call in right now. We will take any calls and talk about Tokyo Game Show, or we did a lot of news stories earlier as well that we can talk about. What do we got?
Chalk
car really
Thanks
likes
for the
news.
vid. Looks not great.
Oh, your thing. You put your.
There we go.
side notes, so
Let's
Josh
take
Leonard's
this.
phone.
Joshua again. Turn it up. Oh, I'm gonna have to turn down the volume. That though. Oh, trying to get the call back for Josh. There we go.
I'm back again.
Hey, Josh, how you doing, man?
Just decent. Still playing more Destiny. I'm just watching you guys watching some trailers.
Cool. Any games that you were really excited about out of Tokyo Game Show, Josh?
Well, I know the two games I was really excited about that I really want to play when they come out like next year. There's like Final Fantasy 15 and also Metal Gear Solid 5 for sure. But also, I'm not a big Dark Souls fan, but I do, and I am intrigued to actually play Bloodborne as well, because that looks pretty much of an interesting game.
Yeah, it changes up the Dark Souls mechanics a little bit. It's a little more fast-paced, a little more approachable for people outside that series, I guess. And that might not sound very appealing to Dark Souls fans, but
No, I'm all for the faster pace, definitely. I don't know how much more appealing that is, because I just wonder if they're going to make it like as difficult. Like, I don't know if it's going to be like swarming around and destroying everything, a la, I don't know, any other game that's like that. Why can't I think of it?
What I'm kind of curious about is if they have the co-op in place to balance out the difficulty. I wonder if it's actually going to be very difficult, but if you have a partner with you, that is really going to be the thing that helps you get through.
The way Dark Souls handles it is when you summon somebody, for every new person that comes in, the enemies gain more health.
Okay.
They don't do any more damage. Damage gets increased as you do New Game Plus.
Okay.
But somebody joins your
party
world, then their enemy's health goes up, and bosses get a big health increase for that.
Okay,
too.
so they really don't let you have any advantage to two-player.
It's easier because you're able to like back away and heal, and the other person can kind of take the attention away. So having two people definitely makes it easier, but it's not like, oh well, we're just gonna swamp these things and kill them in one hit each. So
yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, I'm with you, Josh, as well, because I've never played enough of the Dark Souls and Demon Souls series to really talk about it, but it never really grabbed me that much, but Bloodborne, for some reason, is. So I know what you mean, for sure. And now, Final Fantasy 15, is this going to be your first Final Fantasy, or are you kind of a fan of that series?
Oh no, I'm a long-time fan of the series. Like my favorite game out of the entire Final Fantasy series is definitely 7.
Okay.
Like I know I have seen my brother play like Final Fantasy 4 before, like before I played 7. But when I saw my oldest actually playing 7 when I was younger, I was really intrigued into it. And then when that one part when you lose a certain character for some people who doesn't want to get spoiled, it kind of shocked me. And out of all that, I was so intrigued with the story and everything, the characters.
Final Fantasy
VII
VII was revolutionary at the time. First game, like on disc, you CGI cutscenes to kill off a big character in such a way, and using like a cinematic and a very heavy story approach to it. So yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Final Fantasy VII was my first Final Fantasy, and so it is my favorite in a lot of ways. On top of that, I do think it has one of the best stories. I love the materia system, but it being the first one that I played makes it very special for me.
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right.
I just can't wait to actually play that Final Fantasy 15 demo. That's why I'm going to get the
Type 0.
Final Fantasy Type 0.
Yeah, definitely.
When it comes out.
I'm excited too, man. Thanks for calling in again.
All right, you're welcome.
See you later.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Did you want to say something?
No.
No? I hear people talking to you. I see people talking to you in the chat room.
To me?
I think so.
I'm answering them.
I know.
Even though I look sleepy, I'm still typing.
There we go now. But
we both love.
This, man, I didn't take the whole gameplay segment, but this is Ori and the Blind Forest, and now more than ever, I want this freaking game.
Right.
Oh my god, the story it's telling, even in this first, 7 minutes, I almost got, teary-eyed. Like, it's so sad. Like, have you seen it yet? because I'm gonna have to kind of like narrate it a little bit because I don't think people are gonna really be able to get it on the screen. But you got this big kind of like lovable black creature, and suddenly one day it finds from the sky, I think this light is born of this little creature, this little white creature, and it kind of takes it as its own as a child. And they live in this blind forest, as they call it, and it starts off very, very full of life and very bright and colorful. And they're picking it of all of its food, and they're surviving. And you can see as time goes on, and they're building ways to get food. The forest is dying for some reason, and so therefore the food is becoming less and less. And it kind of reminds me of Grave of the Fireflies, if anybody's ever seen that, which is one of the most depressing movies I've ever seen. It's done by Studio Ghibli, and it'll make you so freaking sad. So I can't really recommend it too strongly, but it is an excellent movie. It reminds me of that because it's all about that trying to survive when food is getting low. And what happens eventually is when the food gets low, the mother, if you want to call her that, starts not taking the food for herself and gives it to the little one. And of course, that ends in the lovable black creature dying at the end of this little gameplay scenario here. Let me turn up the music here because... Oh, well, turn it up, not down. It really feels like I'm watching a Studio Ghibli movie. So they're Xing off trees there to show which one they've already picked for fruit. I almost wonder if they're the ones killing the forest, in a way.
I have a strong feeling.
Yeah. Animation is unbelievably gorgeous. So you can see they have like a pond across here. And they use like, it's like a puzzle. I'm not sure if they fast forward in this gameplay segment because they kind of just show it quickly happening. So they picked a lot of fruit there. You can see like they're kind of chowing down now, and it starts off so happy, and then it just takes a turn for the worst, of course. And here, like, I'm not sure what this is all about. You have this kind of light and this voice, I think, calling to the little creature.
Is this a game or is this a movie?
This is a game. No, this is gameplay. This is something controlling it right now. And that's what I like about it. I think it's telling a story for sure, and I appreciate those kind of games. We talked about it before, these 2 to 3 hour games that tell a story and it's very personal and really grabs you, and I think that's what this game's going to do. So there's the light that I think this little creature was born from. And the mother taking it to shelter now. So now you can see the forest is dying for some reason. So sad. It is very sad. I think so. Because the brightness is higher for them.
What's this game?
It is called Ori and the Blind Forest, and it is exclusive to Xbox One as far as we know right now. I'm not sure if that's a timed exclusivity or whatnot. Thank you for the Twitch heart, by the way. So you can see like the mother there was looking at a piece of fruit and realizing that they're not in good shape right now. They don't have much to search for anymore. They picked off all the trees with the X's. There's not much left. Cool Casual Gamer, our Skype ID is the Level Up Show, spelled exactly how it sounds, no spaces. See that there too, there was like a couple pieces of fruit left and it just doesn't have the strength to get up there. So I think the little creature realizes that the mother is dying, so it goes out on one final mission to try and find fruit here. the question is, where does the game go from here? Is what I kind of wonder.
Right.
But this is the same spot where the mother found the fruit but couldn't get up there. He gets up there and finds a whole bunch now to drop down. And I love this touch here. I hope you guys can see this. While it's walking back to the mother with the fruit, it's like remembering all the moments that they had together from earlier in the game, earlier in the prologue.
Looks like a Stitch. No, Stitch.
The little guy or the big guy?
The little guy.
The little guy? Yeah. And of course, it's too late.
It's like bedtime music.
It's like bedtime music. It's sad music. What it is.
The mom died.
The mom died
Kristen.
at the end,
Well, I'm sorry, I can't see it on that TV and I can't see it over here.
and that's the way the prologue ended that they showed off at
I thought that
TGS.
the monster killed the mom. in
No.
the prologue.
No,
That's what everybody assumed, though.
I guess maybe, but it's much more sad than that. Actually, I
Right.
think that they start off, living off the food, and then they pick it clean, and the mother can't survive
Right.
any longer. So that's the question: is how does the monster come in, and where does the game go from there? Now that the mother is dead and the little child is on its own, I think that was such a great little example of what the game has to offer. And now, off of that, we got Silent Hill's concept trailer. Did you see this, Mark?
The concept trailer?
This is a concept trailer, yeah. CGI, not real time. Thank you for the Twitch art.
Trailer, concept trailer.
Yeah.
They're gonna have an actual game.
Not anytime soon, I don't think. Look at that. That was so freaking creepy. The ball becomes a head with stuff coming out of the mouth.
Bugs! This is so Guillermo del Toro.
Got little, toys walking on the floor. This is Silent Hills, yeah.
So you're playing the
PT, yeah.
It's not gonna be that hard, is it? Where you can't find stuff.
No, that was just for the sake of making it tough to figure out what it was. They wanted to try and keep that
So you
secret.
think.
They wanted to not let people know that it was.
You want to read this?
All the doors shutting. I love this ending though.
That's fine.
Because you got this final door and it kind of looks like out of PT where you've got the cellar door going down, and he's so scared to go down that even though he's got this terrifying creature dragging himself slowly towards him, he's like, I don't know if I want to go down the steps.
Right.
I don't know if I want to go down the steps.
Would you
Which
go
is
down
exactly
the
what I would
steps?
do.
But you've got this freaking thing dragging itself towards you. It's like, I'm going down the steps.
Is that thing real though?
Yeah. I don't know.
Okay, question. Would you guys go down those steps?
Yeah, seriously.
I want to know.
To escape from the boogeyman, yeah.
Yeah, I think I would choose going down the steps over that thing crawling towards me.
Swift Fire Revenge, he said PT and its glory holes.
Oh.
More horror here. We got more horror with Evil Within. Done by Bethesda. Not a lot of hype around this game at the beginning, but it sounds like it's improved
Now it's
drastically.
improving, yeah. I think they were supposed to release it at the end of last year.
Yeah.
I think that was the original intention, that last holiday it was going to release, and I think they actually pushed it back because of the really lukewarm or even cold.
Most of the negativity centered around the main character showing no emotion or fear or anything like that, and it kind of took you out of the game. It's like, if this main character isn't scared, why should I be scared? And you can see from this trailer especially that they've changed that a lot. The main character limping, the main character breathing heavily and showing emotion, and it helps to put you in that mindset kind of. Even with PT, a lot of the fear in that game, a lot of the scary moments came from yourself playing the character, having those breathing heavy moments and stuff like that. It helps to get you into that moment.
This is really freaky looking.
Yeah, Evil Within is very freaky looking.
There's a lot of good horror
I
games.
don't think
coming
I
out.
would want to play this.
No,
I would rather play this, I think, over
Silent Hills?
I think.
Really? I'm
Yeah.
much more on Silent Hills. How about you guys? Are you more looking forward to Evil Within or Silent Hills?
No. Well,
It's called Psycho Break in Japan. If you guys are getting
right,
confused.
but I would say I would rather, as far as like fear-wise, play
Yeah.
this over Silent Hills. I think Silent Hills is gonna freak me out more.
Oh, okay.
And this is what, just more gory?
This is really oddly gory and weird.
Who's to say though Silent Hills won't be gory? But I do agree that probably Silent Hills is going to be more like supernatural, like I don't know, messing with your
Freakouts.
head.
Whereas
like,
it's just gonna be disgusting.
Yeah.
They Silent Hill usually takes like a specific theme and focuses in around that. And I think with all like the insects we saw crawling around and knowing Guillermo del Toro is attached to it, it's gonna be like.
I think I'm going to skip these last two trailers. I think
gonna
we've
be enough.
I think we've seen enough. I don't want to miss our last segment here.
Honestly, a lot of people are saying they'll play both.
They'll play both.
Yeah, they'll go.
It depends on the time frame, right?
Yeah, why not both?
We don't. Yeah, why not both? We don't know when either are coming out for sure. I don't think. Oh wait, no, it did just say October, right?
Yeah,
October for Evil Within.
So Evil Within definitely is going to be out before
Silent Hill.
Silent Hills is probably
Silent
going
Hills
to
has
be at
no
earliest
gameplay.
next year, but probably I would
No
say
gameplay.
2016.
Yeah.
I would say that's going to be like a February, March 2016.
It would be really nice if we could see gameplay from Silent Hill at like E3 next year. But even then, that would be like.
I would assume that actually might be a thing. Like I said, I think it's going to be like February, March of 2016.
Yeah, I could see that.
So gameplay
Definitely.
at E3 is not
Yeah, I
like
saw
out of
the question. The Punisher asked the question, do you think the Division is going to deliver? I think that's a really tough question because we already are hearing rumors that they're downgrading the graphics. Watch Dogs did not give a lot of hope in that regard because they downgraded Watch Dogs so heavily. But still, Watch Dogs overall was a good game.
Yeah.
It was not a bad game at all. Division, I think, has more hope, I think, than
Potential.
Watch Dogs. Potential, yeah. I do think that Division looks really good. I like the idea of this co-op gameplay within this post-apocalyptic, but not way post-apocalyptic. It's not like Last of Us post-apocalyptic. It's right after, and it's got that Christmas setting with the snow. I love that.
I think the big difference is the Division has had this clear vision from the get-go.
Yeah.
Whereas Watch Dogs had like, okay, well you have this main story that you can go through, and you have this world, but then you also have all these multiplayer things.
Yeah.
And it kind of seemed like it fell flat a little bit for all the
Right.
multiplayer avenues, and the Division shouldn't have that issue.
Decent at many, master of none.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm optimistic, though. I think the Division is going to be very good. I don't think it's going to quite deliver on that first trailer that we saw, but not many games do. A lot of games do the target render, the CGI trailer to begin with, and then they get as close as they can, but they don't quite reach it sometimes. I think that's going to be the Division, but still looking forward to it greatly.
I wish Stick would call in.
Why?
He hates everything, and it's funny.
Guys, a wild game has appeared. Let's take a look on this
You
week's.
sound so not startled.
It wasn't loud at that moment.
Guys,
We were walking through the grass. We kind of knew it was coming up.
guys, a wild game from here.
Slow down, sing it, sing it. It was a good
We got this blind
we go. Just a week away. Forza Horizon 2 comes out on September 30th, guys. Obviously, Microsoft Xbox One exclusive, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't talk about it. We've done this before, guys. Sunset Overdrive. There's plenty of Xbox guys in here because they watch from their Xbox or they watch from the PC, so we want to cover those big games as well. Got a bunch of gameplay footage for you guys to look at while we talk about Forza Horizon 2. If you guys don't know, this is the second in the series from Playground Games. This is not Turn 10. Horizon was the first one for Playground Games. They worked on some other racing stuff. I think it was Project Gotham Racing.
Yes.
And then they moved on to Horizon 2.
And I prefer their style a little bit more
than Motorsport. Yeah, it's a little bit. It's not quite as simulation.
It's more arcadey, and
yeah.
I like that. I don't like racing games normally in general, so this is just more.
Now this is coming. Thank you for the Twitch follow. We will acknowledge that at the end of the show. But this is coming out for both Xbox One and Xbox 360. But Playground is the one focusing on Xbox One. They're trying to hit 1080p, 30 frames per second. And then you've got the Xbox 360 version being developed by Sumo Digital. You've probably heard of them before. And they are using the original Forza Horizon Xbox 360 engine for that version of the game, while the Playground gets to use the Motorsport 5 engine and even develop further on top of that.
Really defined, like even almost Drive Club levels.
Yeah, it's a beautiful engine, but they've taken it a step further, actually, I would say, because this one's not 60 frames per second, it's 30 frames per second, but they're using that to add onto the graphical engine. We'll get into that. The major difference between Motorsport and Horizon is that Horizon is open world. And just like the first Horizon, the sequel takes place during the Horizon Festival. It's like a music festival. And this time it is located in southern Europe and southern France and northern Italy are the main focuses of this game, as opposed to Horizon, which I think was Colorado. I think we'll get into that a little later, though. This one will have events in Provence, Tuscany, and Côte d'Azur, among other regions. Overall, though, there are 3 times more drivable area in Horizon over the original Horizon 2 over the original on Xbox.
Right, which is really cool because now they're bringing almost like an off-road sense to it, which is really awesome. So it's not all you're going down the road and you go off the road, turn around. They want you to go off.
You saw it in the trailer actually. They give an example of them going up and just breaking through a fence and going off road, and that's actually going to help with other things as well, like Drivatars. We'll get into that. Moving on from that. You can go through vineyards, forests, up a hill, anywhere you want. The 3 philosophies, though, behind Playground's game, Horizon, is beauty, freedom, and fun. Those are the 3 big things, and that's always been their thing. But now with next-gen hardware, they're really able to fully realize those philosophies. The original Forza Horizon, as I was saying, was in Colorado, but the team always talked about doing northern Italy, southern France, all those kind of things. But they always thought, like, okay, let's do just Italy. But now with this, they're doing Italy, France, Southern Europe in general. They're doing so much more than they ever could have done with Forza Horizon 2. And they're tackling all these areas, the foothills of the Alps, the hills of Tuscany, all the way to the Mediterranean Sea. All those things will be touched on in Forza Horizon 2. And they especially wanted visual diversity is what they call it in this one especially. That also affects the way the gameplay works, the driving works, obviously. The tight claustrophobic streets of Tuscany are obviously going to feel a lot different than 80 to 100 meter wide roads of Côte d'Azur that allow for probably 250 mile per hour racing going in and out of traffic. So that's going to be a much different gameplay scenario, and that's why it's great that they were able to do different locales to allow for those different types of moments. Now with Horizon 2 using the Forza 5 engine, as we talked about, they had a massive head start with developing this game. They pretty much already had it up and running. So because of that, their challenge, as they said, in this game was to really make that dynamic. Quote, to make those systems work and combine in a vast world at any time of day and in any atmosphere or weather condition, we also had to make that scale. We have a huge world which we need to fill with light from headlights, light from street lights. Go ahead, if you have it up.
Nope, I don't.
Okay. Horizon 1, there was that dynamic day-night cycle.
Right.
We've had that before, but the big thing that they're adding in this one is dynamic weather. We saw it in the trailer. This is one of the reasons lighting was so important to the team. They have a quote here.
Right. They said, with Horizon, we pushed the dynamic lights in the headlights. Now every single light in the scene is dynamic, which is only something we've been able to achieve with the switch to when we switch to a next-gen platform. The headlights themselves are no longer just standard dynamic lights. They've actually got modeled in arboration with chromatic arboration from a proper headlight, which is why when you drive around the scene and you see the headlights reacting to certain objects, you'll see a slight rainbowing on them around the edges, very similar to what you would see through your windshield or anything like that. And it's all down to a particular part of the system.
Yeah, that's why especially the dynamic weather effects are even more important, because when you have rain on the road and you've got this dynamic lighting system, all these different points of light, like headlights, like street lights, that's going to reflect off the puddles, all those kind of things, the rain itself. If you've got a headlight, shining through the rain is actually going to be lit. You're going to light up raindrops, and that's the kind of stuff that you're going to see in this, as well as Drive Club, but that's what Next Gen offers, and it's really cool. Other features include what's called the Bucket List and Car Meets. Now, Bucket List is similar to the 1000 Club, which they've brought back. You saw it in the trailer, the 1000 Club, with a group of challenges for the driver to complete. Both France and Italy have their own set of challenges. Now, Playground looks at the challenges more like dares. Now, this is a quote from them. They said, "Like, I dare you to take a Raptor and bomb through the forest at night with only your headlights lighting the way." That would be a challenge of hundreds of challenges that you could take on. And the way challenges work is that you'll be driving around and you'll just see like a really nice car parked on the side of the road. You park, you go up to that car,
and just get into it randomly.
You just get into it randomly, and then it'll present a challenge to you for you to take on, a tuned challenge as they call it. So that's really cool.
But the car meets are actually really entertaining.
Yeah.
I think that's the big thing, just like Drive Club. Car meets is similar to Forza Vista mode and allows players to come together and compare their cars. It's like a hangout area where players can just chat as well, but most importantly, they can share their work, such as customization and tunes, while being compensated for the exchange. And multiple people can hang out with the car meets, challenge each other, and immediately return back to the hangout.
Yeah, it's really cool. Kind of, in a way, it reminds me of PlayStation Home. Does that sound weird?
Yeah, I guess that. I was going to say it's basically Fast and the Furious meets video games.
Yeah, you just get together, you talk with each other, you hang out, have a little mic party, and it's like, okay,
ready shifted, no double.
Hey, you want to go drive around a little bit, and then they can jump back to their car meets. They can share their car. They can look at each other's car, go in and out of each other's cars, and look at all the detail you put in. Because obviously, Forza's always had a lot of customization when it comes to the cars. That's something that they're very good with the Forza series.
I really like your car.
Yeah, you want to share this? I'll pay you for it.
I wonder how dead that's going to be for a little while.
Now, speaking of cars, as we were talking about, there will be approximately 200 in the main game. That includes exotics, rally cars, trucks, hot hatches, and, of course,
now 150 of them you have to pay for.
I hope not.
Oh, wait.
No.
No.
I think the 200 are included with the game. That's the 200 you get. What happens after that, I have no idea. But with other 700 events to take part in, besides the ones we were talking about earlier, like the challenges, Playground is also promising that at least 100 hours will be needed to reach 100% completion on this game.
Now, the one thing that might be a little jarring for people is that Drivatars are back, but they're definitely making more sense for a style of game rather than Motorsport. With Motorsport, for people who weren't very familiar, in Forza 5, they caused the AI to act like bumper cars.
Yeah.
It was really inconvenient, really brought down.
Because that's the way people act online.
Right. So, I got caught up. Yeah, exactly. That's how they act in real life. However, with the freedom of Horizon 2 and the ability to go off-road through fences and over hills,
like we're seeing right now, guys,
shortcuts like that, perfect. The AI is going to be a lot more realistic and dynamic with the way that they approach a race. And any training done towards your Drivatar or Motorsport 5 transferred over to Horizon Motorsport.
Great news.
2, yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing about Drivatars. If you guys don't know it, it uses the cloud to look at what people are doing in their races, how they actually act, and they're adapting the actual AI within the game to act more like humans based on how people act when they play together online. And now, in Motorsport, that's what people do. They go into a turn and they just smash into each other.
They don't know how to slow down. And
they do it on purpose. They try to take people off the road. And people got frustrated because the AI never really acted that way. That was more something that was exclusive to assholes online. So they were like, I don't like this. Now the AI is doing exactly what people do online. I don't want that. But in this, since, as you were saying, since you go off-road, That's really cool,
Right.
and it's going to open up a lot of different avenues for people to take, and also for even the drivatars to take.
Right, because they can, instead of going off, right into your car, a lot of them are going to just go right off the road. They
Yeah.
might take a shortcut that you don't know about.
Yeah.
And screw you over, or it could really benefit you.
It's really cool, and you're going to find new shortcuts by watching what the AI does, hopefully, because the AI is going to be based off of your friends list and what they're
Right.
doing. If they did something you don't know about, you're going to see that through the drivatars. Really cool. So, guys, Forza Horizon 2 does come out on September 30th for Xbox One and Xbox 360.
Yes.
Looks really cool. We got Drive Club to look forward to on PlayStation. We've been talking about that a lot as well. But if you're an Xbox guy, this is your racing game for the year for sure. Along with Sunset Overdrive is another big one for you. Master Chief Collection coming soon. So, really cool stuff.
Cool.
That's it for us tonight, guys. Good show. Thank you so much for coming in. Let me round up everything real quick.
Like perfect
Twitch
timing,
heart.
too.
Mark, read off all the Twitch hearts that we've gotten since the last time you read. If you can.
All of
You
them.
can't tell me what to do.
Yeah.
Alan Estrada, ThrillZ _ Rogue Jedi 394, Roger 0116, Joe Mom 80, Red Riddles, the Real Game 69.
Yeah, those are all of our new Twitch hearts. Thank you so much, guys. And we also got
Thanks,
one more. We also got one more YouTube in there. We got a guy named Adam Carter who subscribed to us on YouTube.
You guys are
Thanks-
giving up people's real names.
Adam Carter. That'd be like me saying John Smith. Like Adam Carter. I think you'll do it right.
Still.
Okay, Adam. Thank you for your YouTube subscription, guys. Please follow us on all the different
know who you
channels
are.
we have listed. They're all up on the signs for you to read. So we are the Level Up Show. We are a gaming dedicated talk show on every Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm Andrew. Got my co-host here, Mike. We also got Mark and Kristen in the chat room with you all night long. We'll be on next Sunday, of course. So please go on twitch.tv/the Level Up Show right there on the sign and heart us. Follow us, whatever you want to call it. But if you do that, you will get email notifications whenever this show goes live. And that doesn't mean just the live shows on Sundays. That also means our Destiny playthroughs, our Minecraft playthroughs, mini shows if we're discussing Tokyo Game Show or any other big news that were to happen. It'll all be on our Level Up Show Twitch. So please heart us on there. You can also, sorry, go ahead.
Shout out to Sacro Knights.
Sacro Knight, shout out to you, man. Go on the Level Up Show on our Twitter. It's Level spelled LVL in that case. We're very active on our Twitter. You can follow us on there. We'll keep you updated throughout the week on what we're doing, what we're planning for our shows or our live streams or our playthroughs, all those different things. Facebook, you can also like us on there. YouTube.com, as I was saying, is very, very important to us. It's the Level Up Show, Level spelled LVL, right there on the sign. We archive all of our episodes on there, not just the live shows, the playthroughs. We divide everything up into mini segments for you to consume more easily. They're called replays. We do video blogs every now and then. So everything is on our YouTube for you to check out if you miss the show on Sundays. So go on youtube.com/the Level Up Show, Level spelled LVL. Please subscribe. If you guys like what we've done with the show last week, or actually this week on Thursday, we got our first. Sorry. What happened?
Apparently, Greg has been transported to a noun for a couch.
Oh.
And the conversation. I'm just being weird. With
And that happened last
No,
week.
last week I accidentally
Oh, that's right.
called Greg. I replaced the word Greg with couch.
Yeah, I remember.
No,
I
but then
know.
Mike just had
I
a
said
really good one.
people were just saying. I said stained Gregs are the worst, and I said, or when the insides of your Greg starts coming out.
Wow.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes,
Andrew?
go ahead.
The Punisher wants to know if you played Darksiders 1 and 2.
No, I haven't. Has anyone here played Darksiders?
Nope.
No, I thought you did.
Nope.
No.
No, I never played Darksiders.
And Dave says, my Greg has stains and cigarette burns on it.
Guys, we got our first donation on Thursday. It was done by
Oh.
it was done by V Slater. Thank you so much, V Slater, for your donation to us. It's the first we've ever gotten, and we really appreciate it because we've been putting.
Well, not exactly.
Not exactly, no. But through our stream tip, that was our first donation, and we really appreciate it because we've done a lot of work on the show recently. We've completely revamped it with the new studio and stuff like that, and we plan on taking it even further. We're going to really try to make this show as professional as possible for you guys. So if you want to help us out in that effort, please go on streamtip.com/T/the Level Up Show and donate whatever you see fitting. There's a $1 minimum, and we would appreciate that greatly. And finally, we've got a lot of PSN friend requests. I'm going to acknowledge them in a second. But I'm on PSN at DrewM1788, and Mike is Noob Guru. If you add us now, we will add you right after the show, so please do that if you can. So I'm going to read off our friend requests real quick.
as soon as he pulls it up, because we all know how great. You know what's really annoying? That my phone loads up my friends list and all my menu functions faster than my PS4.
Yeah, I know, definitely. They need to work on that on the PS4. It's one of the big things. So we got Angel Ripper, Dominican, XePay, Fatal Rage, Gears Ninja, Guitar Freak, Heavy Rygar, Incredible Dan, Jab661, J-Dude, Jeremy Kyle, Jesmar, Jim B.O., Joe Mom, Lucky Man, Rich Cross, Ragnarok, Rogue Jedi, Ryan W, Shred, Shemar, Somewhat Gamer, and The Real Game 50501. You guys have all PSN friend requested, myself, and maybe Mike as well, so please, if you haven't yet, I'm Drew M1788, Mike is Noob Guru.
Yeah.
We are the Level Up Show.
We are.
Yeah. Thank you so much, guys, for coming in tonight. End off with our intro, as we always
And guys, there's people asking. There was a few people asking throughout the show. We do actually have a Destiny clan. For those of you that don't, hate the game yet and want to put some more time into it, it's just the level uppers. There's a lot of us that are joining. That are part of it. So there's actually achievements that you get if you complete a strike with all people in your clan, or a full raid with all people in your clan.
Yeah.
So add us on Bungie's thing for the level uppers.
And thank you for the most recent friend request. I just saw that. Thank you. Guys, we will see you next Sunday, hopefully 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Level up. Sorry, go
Oh,
ahead.
that's one more thing. I think that everyone, since Greg's not in here, should tweet to him what they said in here, because it's so funny.
Yeah,
At Greg Verga.
At Greg Verga. I think is it underscore?
I think there might be an under. Let me check. I gotta look.
Yeah. So guys, if any of you have said something about your Greg
About your Greg
or the
being a
status of
couch.
your Greg, yes, your Greg as a couch, tweet him. I believe it's at
I'm checking right now.
GREG. I think it's underscore VIRG. No?
Nope, add Greg Verga.
Just Greg Verga. So GREG VIRGA. Most of them probably already have him. but
Everybody do it.
Everybody
please.
do it.
Tweet Greg, something couch related.
Right,
Let's
whatever
say
you
with a
said in
couch.
the chat or anything that you hate on your couch, call your couch your Greg and say what you like or dislike about your Greg.
Yes.
Sometimes when I play video games late at night, I just piss out on Greg. I drool on my Greg sometimes.
This should just go on every week.
My Greg has stains on it. I tried to get rid of them. Might need a new Greg.
Thank you guys so much. We'll see you next
great.
Sunday, 10 p.m. Eastern Time for the Level Up Show, episode 41. Until then, take care. Level up. Level up, guys. See you next week.
I find pennies with my Greg.
My Greg cost me $500 million.
That doesn't make any sense. That's impossible.